Hello, Nikki.
Hi, Shruti. Am I
Finally,
am I
this is
visible,
happening.
audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And here it's good. The sound.
I can hear you clearly.
Oh,
Yeah, I can see you clearly also.
yeah, same here. So we'll just wait for like people
Sure,
to join.
that's okay. How's
I know
everything?
you're
How's
nervous.
Penny, Sumit?
Yeah, they've gone for a walk. They must be
Okay,
coming right now.
okay. Good.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So
Any
finally, this is
weekend plans?
happening. This was
I know. Yeah, I
this was
know.
pending for so long.
I know. We discussed this. I think somewhere in December, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Even I think even way before that.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
things happened and this couldn't happen.
Yes,
But
yes.
I'm so happy that first session of 2025 is with you.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Even I don't know how good I'll be, but I'll try my
No,
best.
you'll be amazing. We all, everybody anyway knows you, loves you. I know people. I got so many DMs. Finally, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm like, "Ah, sahi hai." Nikki has a
Yeah,
fan
just
following.
be
Nikki and the
sweet. Yeah, just
squad
be
have their
sweet.
fan following.
Oh no. I think yeah, they of course for sure.
Definitely.
Luna, stop making noise. Luna's trying to
Hi,
play
Luna.
with Stella,
How
and
how are
Stella's just
Stella and
scratching her
Jimmy
butt on
doing?
my chair. I think she's itchy. Stella. All three are here.
Or how are they doing, Jimmy and Stella both?
Jimmy and Stella both good. Finally, Jimmy is now settled in others. First, he was having pretty bad loosies. So now its
That's
stomach is all settled.
that's exactly what our session is for. How foster homes like transform them from it starts from day one. We have seen it very clearly.
I know. It's all about like just the right food and small things actually, which you will think,
Yeah,
okay, that's normal, right? But it's.
exactly. People are late today. I think we are pretty
I
early.
think only Sneha is here.
Yeah. I knew she'll be the first one to join. She was most excited.
Yeah. So how have you used your new keyboard?
Not yet. We were just practicing like on my birthday night itself when I
Oh
opened. I'm
wow.
like, no, I have to play right now. So we started on just maybe one or two songs, and yeah, we'll definitely do something on that. I'm so excited.
I know. You
Yeah.
were so excited to open it
Yeah.
also. It was so nice to see that.
I didn't know itna bada, what is it? And he's going on like,
So you had
building it up.
absolutely no clue that that is the gift.
Yeah,
Like even
I
when you
did not
saw it.
know. Yeah, so it was all bubble wrapped and
Yeah.
very well wrapped. Then I could see a black cover. I thought maybe it's like a stand because we already have an arranger. So
Right.
I thought that there's a stand for that.
Okay.
But I'm like, stand will not be this thick and this
Yeah.
big.
And
And
heavy
when I
also, right?
opened, I don't know, it was like something I had dreamt of when I used to play in a college year. That was a Chotu mini version of this. So it
Okay.
was so amazing.
I'm so happy. Like it's so nice when you get gifts that you want, but you don't have to tell the person I
Exactly,
want this and they just
exactly.
get it for you.
That's the best. That's the
Because
best.
otherwise then you feel little cheated. Oh, I told you this,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
now it's an
We are
actual
sending
surprise.
links. Ki please send.
Yeah. Then it feels like forced, like I forced you to give this to
Yeah,
me. Now
then
it's like, okay, you
that's not.
wanted to give it to
Yeah,
me.
true.
That's good.
I love your specs. Yeah, the color is very nice.
I know everyone likes the color. I like, yeah, I just randomly on Lenskart one day I was just seeing and I said, oh, purple cute, and then I was bought it. And
It's
then for a long time
amazing.
I didn't wear it also. So now suddenly I put it on and then I like it now.
No, it's
I
very
was like, what will
good
it go
suiting.
with? It'll go with nothing.
But no,
But I wear it
you
with
it.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets like even when I bought this is also like a pink color. I was
Yes.
also very skeptical that it's a very specific color, but it goes with
Yeah,
everything.
I think it's
Ultimately,
just in the
you get
head.
tuned into that.
Yeah. It's not like everything is going to match and I find black boring. So.
True.
Yeah.
Colors are the new black.
Yeah, I agree. Especially when you have so much options
True.
now.
I think enough people. Shall we
Yes,
start or shall we
yes,
wait?
yes,
Only four of them are
yes.
here. I think we are
We can.
still a minute early. Okay, we'll
Yeah, we are
chat.
still got a minute. Yeah, we still got a minute. We have to give them at least because we said 7 o'clock, so it should be
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
Because a couple of times, like when I had it with Shivani from Nutkit, we had a
Yes.
lot of issue with the video. So, and
Oh.
it took like 10 minutes from the
No,
time. So
that
I thought
happens
that,
sometimes because sometimes the Wi-Fi is not working or
yeah,
the
that
way
too.
the camera setup is not
True.
okay. Then you need to make
So you've
adjustments.
done like live before, or this is your first time?
Are you talking like a podcast thing? No, this is my first time. Never. Like I stay away from public speaking because I get very like, so then, and then there's more than anything else. I think I better like on the background, like
See,
I'll
till now
attend a lot
it's
of
like
rides.
two of us just chatting on video call, so it's completely
Yeah, correct.
needless.
That way it feels better now. I'm not as nervous as I was before this started, so then it's okay.
I think we can just start. Maybe people can
Sure,
join.
sure,
So
sure.
I know, Nikki, everybody knows you, but anyway, we have
You're being
some.
generous.
No, come on, everybody knows you.
No,
Like,
no, no.
so just maybe, for people who are new and who don't
Yes.
know about these sessions, maybe just you can give a quick introduction and then we can jump on this.
Okay, about myself.
Yeah, you, the
Okay.
squad, what you do, what this session is about.
Okay, so hi, my name is Nikita. I am mom to 4 dogs, three actually, Buddy, Bella, Elmo, and Luna. Bella, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but I can't take the squad's name without her name being there.
Definitely.
I started my adoption journey rather about 6 years ago when I adopted Bella. And since then, it's never looking back. And fostering also started because of her. So today's topic, which is fostering, happened because of Bella, continued because of Bella, and now I do it in her name. So
Amazing.
it's all about
And
her.
also, Bella has like been a blood donor to so many dogs. Like she
Not
has
so
saved.
many, three,
But
but
still,
yeah,
I mean,
she.
it's a big number because these days you are seeing like there is
I
shortage
know.
of donors, and I feel
And the thing is,
sad
she
that
had the negative blood also,
yeah,
so she was quite. So they would just like wait till the 6 month period was on, and I'll get a call. Okay, there's this dog. Yeah, so I had to the last time I had to tell them, no, I'm sorry, she's
oh
no
my
longer there, so
God.
you'll have to take her off your list.
Bella has like built Bella and the squad have
Yeah,
built a
I think
legacy, and
what.
it's like
Yes,
that's what I
yes,
mentioned on the story also, that
yes,
this is like a holy grail for
yes,
all rescues, like a foster home that every dog
yes,
deserves.
yes.
So we are
I think a
so
lot of
proud of
what is
you.
today is because of her. Yes.
So yeah, guys, that was. I mean, everybody knows, but for there were many people who did not know what is this Snouters Digest, because many people have joined after December, and that's when I had the
Oh.
last
No, no, this
session.
is an amazing, like, I don't know if the podcast is the correct term. We don't have those mics in front of
Yeah,
us. But I think it's an amazing array of information, firstly, and it's very casual talks, and also because it's so personable. There's nothing like high flying language which no one understands, and it's
exactly.
very what you and I will understand like a
True.
normal pet parent. I think so.
Yeah,
That's why it's an amazing. I think everyone should go and watch the
true.
previous ones because
I will.
they'll
I
have
will.
a lot of info.
Yeah, because the reason I started was because I used to get so many DMs, and
Yes.
I was never very confident giving answers, because especially when it comes to like things like nutrition and all,
I know, yes.
vet
And
related.
and actually your
So
training one was one of my most favorite ones because
yeah.
it spoke, I think all of them are very good and you had very good guests also and everyone should check out the previous
Thank you so much.
podcast.
And that's the only like people ask me, is it like you have partnered or collabed? I'm like, no, bhai, no collabs, nothing sponsored. It's like whoever I find that I have genuinely had an
Yes,
experience with,
yes.
I love
I
bringing,
think
because
that
then
shows
it's
also because
yeah,
it's
then it's
so
authentic.
easygoing. Yes.
Yeah,
I think everyone should check out the previous ones. If you're coming here for the first time, then please go and see the others. They're very
yeah,
good.
definitely. The Instagram had one option earlier, like we could have made a series, but I don't know
Yes.
why they've removed it. So it
Yeah,
would
it
have
was
been like
bookmarks or
every
something. I
yeah. So
remember.
it
Yes,
was
yes.
like a very nice place to club everything together.
Correct.
I don't know why
They
did they
should do
remove
that
it.
actually because there are a lot of
Yeah,
series things and then you have to
because
keep
otherwise
searching.
it's like haphazard and you have to
Yes.
search a lot on the feed,
Because
and
we
then
post so much also. So yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, Nikki, I think thank
Yes.
you for the lovely introduction. I think everybody I think many people are here. We can jump on because
Yes.
we have a lot
Sure.
of questions, and
Okay.
whoever doesn't know, our sessions have no time limit. So
Yeah.
it can go on to the end of time and you have to be here.
So I hope everyone brought something
Yeah,
to eat and drink and
please go grab
straps
your
in.
popcorns or snacks or whatever,
Yes.
because you are here for a long
Yeah.
time. So, as everybody knows, like this is a session on fostering. So, as we know that Nikita is a very, very well-versed foster, and she's an experienced foster who's been doing this for a lot many years, and everybody like loves her, and we all know like what the squad means to them. Like, so this session is around fostering, how it can really save lives, And I mean, you've never fostered a cat, I know. So
No, I am not. I'm a
yeah,
little scared of my dogs
yeah.
actually.
So this is particularly about fostering a
Yes.
dog. So this is what the session is about, and I am very hopeful, and I think we both will. We are great at convincing people with
Yes, yes,
the amount
yes.
that we talk. So
Yeah,
I
so
think by the end
it
of the
may go
session,
off topic sometimes
yeah.
also.
So by the end of the session, I am hoping and I'm sure at least one person will, agree with us and be ready, open their doors to fostering, because currently it's like
Yes, there
it's
are
a
very few people who,
very,
so
especially
I'm
since like
hoping, yes.
the offices have reopened, it's become
Yes,
tough. But
yes,
it's also because I feel many people do not completely know about it,
yes,
and there are
yes,
very strict things that people know कि इससे बाहर
yes,
गए तो there is no scope. So I
yes,
think
yes.
that is what we can clear up.
Maybe give a little more information to help.
Yeah. So I have curated a list, as you know, like I
Yes,
took questions from people. So there were
yes,
many questions. Some are
sure.
very repetitive. So I've like
Okay,
clubbed it down and I've put
sure,
my own questions. So we
sure.
have a big list and we'll cover
Okay,
that one by one.
sure,
So
sure.
just the first one is pretty basic, like just an introduction. Like, can you briefly explain what canine fostering involves for anybody who doesn't know the term, like what is fostering?
Yes, so fostering basically is taking a dog who has either been abandoned or needs needs specific care and probably cannot do well in a shelter at that moment. So then they would prefer a home environment for them. So it's basically bringing that dog in, giving them good food, nutrition, a good space, allowing them to decompress, and then helping them to come out of their shell also in a way so that it helps to get them adopted easier, because knowing a dog's nature temperament definitely helps place them in the right home. And when maybe there's so many dogs in a shelter, it's a little harder to give their temperament so accurately. In a home, they are much more open to being themselves, because it's probably one or two dogs at home, so they can be themselves. So I think it's all about getting them to decompress, to get healthier, and then help them get adopted. That is the eventual goal, unless you foster fail, of course. But the
Yes.
eventual goal is to get them adopted. So to make
Yes.
them healthier and make them good to go into another home.
Yeah, it's like a temporary rehab for them, for
Yes,
those who
yes,
have been coming
perfectly
from
put.
very
Yes,
adverse conditions then.
yes, yes.
So I hope the like what fostering means is clear to those who wanted to know. So yeah, second question is like what inspired you to start fostering dogs?
So actually, it had happened very randomly. I had adopted Bella very recently. That time I didn't have Elmo then, and Beagles of India, I don't know, Chintana had contacted me that there was this beagle puppy who's kept in a balcony the whole day, a very small balcony, and they didn't want the dog anymore. Basically, it was a one of those, the husband wanted a dog, the wife didn't. He's going to work. She doesn't want to be around the dog. He's kept in the balcony. So she asked me, can I go pick the dog up and foster him? So I said, yeah, sure. I didn't know what fostering meant also. I just knew that I had to keep the dog for a few days till he gets adopted. So that's how it started. And because Bella made life very easy, you know how a beagle puppy is, but
Oh.
she played with him and she made sure he had all the playing things were done by her, and I just had to do the food part. So it was very
Bella
simple.
had that mother
She was,
instinct
yes, she
in
was a
her.
mom from day one, yes.
True.
So it was very easy. And then since then, yes, I've fostered quite a few dogs since then. It's been almost 6 years now. So
It's
that's how
not
it
quite
started.
a few. It's like
Yeah.
amazing what you do and your capacity to like keep doing it. Like you have
Yes.
a foster, then again you
I think
take
once
in
you do
another
it,
dog.
it gets little easier with every
Absolutely.
foster. I remember the first time when Django was his foster name, had to go. So Chintana even asked me, she said, will you be okay if they take him today only, or do you want them to come at a later time? And I said, and since they were coming from quite far, I didn't want them to make that trip again. So I said, no, it's okay. Let him just, if he has to go anyway, so 1 or 2 days is not going to make much of a
True.
difference. So that was a little tough in the beginning, but as and when it keeps happening, it is tough every time. I'm not going to say it's very easy to give up a dog, especially the longer they stay with you.
True.
But it's fine. It's okay. Like you get over it.
Best. So coming to the next question, what kind of commitment does fostering usually require in terms of time, space, emotions?
Okay, so it's like having your own dog. So you just think of what requirements your own dog has, and maybe multiply it a little more because they probably are a little sick or they need a little bit of more time because they have just come into your home. So basically looking after their nutrition, taking them for walks, making sure they have everything that they need. So yeah, it does take quite a bit of commitment. Bringing a dog home makes a lot of commitment, but it's a short term commitment. So you can, if you have like a month or two, it doesn't usually take that long. Also, sometimes it takes a week sometimes. But if you can, then I think try to foster for the time the dog is there in the foster system rather than keep shifting them. I think that's a little, it takes a toll on them, like constantly shifting houses. So I think do make sure yourself that you have that, like, okay, this dog will need probably 2 weeks. So say, okay,
Yeah.
2 weeks I will do
So
it.
I think
Or if it's a month,
understanding that requirement is
yes,
very important. That
yes,
how long, because some people think that okay, for 2 days I can keep or
yeah.
like that. I think
And
that doesn't
sometimes that
benefit
is the
anyone.
need. Like sometimes they just need a landing space quickly,
Yeah.
because the dog has to get out of the situation. Okay, fine, you can be that landing space, but as far, I would say try to do it till the dog is adopted, because shifting and all, it creates a little bit of imbalance in them, which I don't think is fair to
Absolutely.
the dog. Yeah.
So
So
when
it takes a lot of commitment. I'll say that. So it's not easy. It's not like, okay, I've decided now it's going to happen. It does take commitment, and especially the first week is very tough because the dog's trying to get used to you. You are getting used to the dog. Your dogs are getting used to the dog. So give yourself that time also to give it a week
plus
at least. Like, okay, if things are not working out after that, you
like
can
most
stop.
dogs that come in for fostering are coming from like really bad
Yes.
conditions and from bad rescue
Yes. And they
experiences.
need a lot, maybe
So
need medical
yeah,
care also.
most of them are like flight risks. Like you cannot
Yes.
risk anything. They can just run off. Like I remember
Yes.
when we rescued Luna from the streets, like
Yes.
my friend. So she was like, I used to constantly, fear that the gate should not be open. Otherwise, she would have
Yes.
just run off like anything.
Or your
So
door also, something else,
yeah, yeah.
your
It's
door
like
being.
they are a flight risk at for the first, as you said,
Yes.
like at least a week you need to give to
Because
them.
they don't know what's
True.
happening, so they need that time to, decompress also. So I think give it a week. I know it's a little tough because then they are peeing in the house, pooping in the house, and if you're someone like me, especially the peeing gets on my
Oh,
nerves.
same,
Like,
same.
it's what do you do with the pee? Poop you can pick up
Yeah,
and throw. Pee is like
exactly. Poop is
ingrained.
fine. Pee is
Yeah.
annoying.
Yes, yes. So it's just a little bit of, give them time, give yourself time, and just take it little calmly. Things work out. So it's just, but it is commitment. I'm not going to say it's easy. Even if you have dogs, you're used to dogs, it still takes a lot of commitment.
Ozzy is saying that Nikki is always sitting at the door waiting for another dog coming over.
Yeah, because they're all moving up and down. One is biting my leg also now. Too much.
Oh, Stella, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Sujata is saying I soak using pee pad. Like it's like how many pee pads
I
also
know.
you're going to
Oh,
take
it's
across
a
the
never
house?
ending. It's never ending, especially if it's a puppy
Oh,
foster. It's like, oh God, this is gonna
seriously.
stop.
Okay, so next question is what is the typical process for becoming a foster parent to a dog? This is something that I got a lot of times because people don't know about
Yes.
how it works.
So I have fostered for about 3 organizations now. One was TFF, Eagles of India. One is SCSI, Second Chance Sanctuary India, and then the other is For Paw's Sake and Big Bagheera, who do it together usually. So I would say follow their pages. Often they are putting up foster appeals like, can you foster this dog?
Mm.
Some of them even have foster groups. You can become a part of that group. And then as and when they put up the appeals, you can always say, okay, if this is something you can do, it's a dog you can foster, then you can just put up your hand kind of in the group and say, I can do this.
And
It's very simple. Yeah.
I think in like it's not just in Bangalore, in so many cities there are so many
Yes.
amazing shelters doing the work and they're
Yes.
constantly in need of fosters
Yes.
because I feel that people with us in Bangalore at least they are blessed with a robust foster network. But
I
in other
agree.
cities it's like non-existent.
I agree.
So
I think it's just about following the organizations you like and you love, and then as soon as they put up appeals, just maybe see if you would work also. It's not always that you would work out for the dog also. So they are also pretty good at assessing if you would be a good home for the dog. So I think just get in touch with these few organizations and then just keep following them. You'll at some point you'll find a dog you like to foster.
absolutely. So next is what kind of support do foster homes receive from shelters or rescue organizations? I think
So
this is also something that people would be interested in because they know what they are in for. They
yes.
should know, yeah.
So, I'll tell you, me personally, I don't like to put the burden of either medical or food or anything related onto the organization because I know how
Same.
all of them are struggling with funds. So I don't, even if they're not struggling, I would say, but everyone needs the funds for something else.
Yeah.
So
Like it can be put to better use for another
yes,
rescue.
yes,
Yeah.
but that's not the case. Even with the organizations I work with, they have a running account with the hospitals, few hospitals, and you just take them there if it's a medical case, and then it goes on to their tab basically. So you don't need to pay for that. Food, generally, I don't think you should ask for food money. It's you're cooking for your dog, you can cook for your foster also.
True.
But generally, if it's a medical case, most rescue groups will offer you for their medical amount. They'll reimburse you for that.
So I
But they'll
think that
expect you to
is,
go to their
yeah. So I
hospitals,
think
of course.
that is one confusion that many people have, maybe because of which they would
Yes.
not go on. That medical expense is a big chunk. I completely agree. And
Yes.
if you do not want to put that
Yes.
money, so
That's
you can
okay. That's
definitely,
fine.
yeah,
You can definitely, and most of them even offer it. They
yeah,
say you don't need to pay. Like I know, even for me, they're like, you don't need to just put it on our account. So you can definitely do that. There's nothing to feel bad about that. Oh, it's okay. It's
yeah,
completely okay.
yeah,
It's just that you should somewhere, let there be a middle ground. Also, I feel because they are also going. They also need the funds. So
yeah.
if you can afford it,
Like at
try to do
least
it
for
yourself.
little things, you should
Yes.
not like treat them like,
Yes.
some reimbursement service that, you are
Yes.
just telling. Because we
Yeah.
had a very bad experience with one such foster who used to, for I think Charlie, like
Yes.
that foster used to ask us to order the wet wipes also, and,
Oh
things,
God.
food bags also. So
Oh God.
some
Yeah. So
people are
don't be
like, we
that
will just
foster.
give the
Yeah.
shelter, we will just give a roof, and
Yes.
rest everything you have to take care of. So don't be that, I would
Yeah. Don't be that.
suggest.
But at the same time, you shouldn't feel bad about if you
Yeah.
have a medical foster and you're going to the doctor so often. There's no harm in getting that at least reimbursed. If it's a lot, you should not feel that I should not
Yeah.
ask. You can definitely ask, and most of them offer it on their own only. So you don't even
Yeah.
need to be asking for it. Another thing is if you can't go for the medical checkup, most of them will give you a pet cab or something if they have the facility. So do ask that also. If you're finding it difficult, you can always ask about that as well.
Yeah. So Ozzy has asked like, but then who pays the bills? So I think we just go and pay up front and then we
Yes.
can ask
So
for it.
like now recently, I'll tell you with Stella and Jimmy, I have not paid a single rupee for their medical bills. I go to CanCure and they SCS has a running account there.
Hmm.
So I just give the name of the dog and I don't have to pay a single rupee. Every time I walked out without paying a single rupee. So
That's great.
if it's like that, if they have a running account
Yeah.
with you don't even need to pay and get it reimbursed. But if there is an emergency and you've taken a dog somewhere else, you can still get that reimbursed. You just need to give them the bills. That's all.
Okay. So I hope that bill thing is answered, because that was like, I think that can be an eye opener for people, because they
Yes.
don't know that, many people can feel that everything will come on us and we
No,
cannot
no, that's
afford
not.
that.
And that's why it's important to go with a good rescue organization also, because a lot of them might try to put it on you, but at least the ones I worked with have never,
Yeah,
have
same.
never
Yeah.
insisted.
Most of them, I think
Yeah.
they are like because they just need help physically
Yes,
for the
and the
dog
fact
to
that you've
feel
taken
safe.
a lot of it off their plate. Others they have to pay for boarding,
Yeah,
they have to pay for so
true.
many other things. So you've taken quite a bit of them, so they can definitely handle the medical. Then it
Yeah.
becomes easier for them to do that.
And I think there is a concept of paid fosters also for
There
some
is,
rescuers who do it.
yes.
Uh,
I don't know why it's called paid foster though. It's a little. They can call it paid
boarding.
boarding or like
Yeah,
subsidized
I would
boarding.
still say it serves more as a
Yes.
boarding than calling them like
Yeah,
paid
because
foster.
I don't know, because when we foster, we know the expense that is incurred, so it's not paid foster
Absolutely.
in any
Yeah.
way.
So
Yeah,
same,
so
same. Yeah.
yeah.
So the next question is: do foster families? This is a very nice question.
Yes.
Do foster families need to train or rehabilitate the dogs in their care?
Um. So to be honest with you, I have never used a trainer. Maybe I've got just dogs who are great or whatever, didn't need any rehabilitation. But I think it's a personal choice at the end of the day. If you can manage the basics, and I'm talking about literally basics, just leash walking, getting them used to, being around other dogs, very basic
Resource
things. You can do it
guarding and
yourself.
food aggression. Yeah.
Yes. You don't need to like train them, oh, they need to walk right beside me or anything. That's not needed.
Yeah, and
They
parlor
just
tricks like catch or something.
yeah. Like basic stuff, if you can teach them, that's enough. You don't need a trainer for that. You can do it yourself.
I think
And then that's for them.
recall being the most important.
Yes, yes. And I think it's for the family who adopts them finally also to put in some effort.
Absolutely.
So if they feel they need something more, they need this, they need that, then they can, it's their dog, then they need to do it.
True.
But as far as what we have to do is just, do the basics for them. Like, yes, I won't say just leave them on their own and let them do what they want. That's also wrong.
Yeah.
But give them that structure. But at the same time, I don't need to be calling a trainer, okay, now, what can I do, this, that, and all. You can do these basic things yourself. Like, don't
Yeah.
add more cost to yourself for that. It's not needed.
Absolutely.
You
Like,
just need
that's
to do the
what
basics.
I think a rehab is about, getting a
Yes.
structure so that they can just feel themselves,
Yes.
because they have come in a very bad state of mind. They
Yes.
don't know anything.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I think that makes sense. And what are the most common challenges faced while fostering a dog? Something like with your experience, maybe you can tell.
So most, I think, would be the P again. I'll bring it up again. But no, all jokes aside, I don't think there's something that challenging also. Everything, yes, it is challenging. You get a medical foster, they are having their own issues. You have to get through with that.
True.
But other than that, I won't say it's like, oh my God, what, it's not something that it's not doable. You might go through it with your own dog. They may have Lucy's too, right? So it's not like it's going to be just,
I think that
it's not going to be all hunky dory. It's not.
Yeah.
And
I think
probably the biggest challenge when we have dogs ourselves is getting the dogs used to them also, because it takes time.
Yes,
So,
biggest challenge, yeah.
Yes.
Because not all dogs are very accepting,
No.
and that was one of the questions we'll come on to later.
Yes.
It's like a very important
Yes.
topic to discuss. So I think basically, I think the mentality matters. Like,
Yes.
we should not think that, like, it's like a paying guest has
Yes.
come to my house and
also
I
don't
just
have so many
to.
expectations that okay,
Yeah.
the dog is going to come in, suddenly start playing, suddenly start loving you. Everyone takes time to adjust, so you should mentally prepare yourself that it's going to
True.
take a few weeks, a few days sometimes, few weeks sometimes, few months also sometimes. You have to
Yeah,
give
possible.
them
Yeah.
time. So just that be a little calm and don't have so many expectations. Like, I think keep those expectations
You
low.
said it very rightly, because I remember for Karma was so timid, because we
Yes.
know like what she had gone
Gone through, yes.
Till it took her a month to
Yes.
start playing with Penny.
Yes.
Penny and her would like ignore each other like they don't exist. And
Yeah.
we used, because the previous fosters we had, they used to
They
play
used to get
the
along
whole
so
day.
well, yeah.
So we used to feel sad, but then
Yes.
it was a realization that it's okay. All dogs
Yes.
don't need to do. But
And it takes
after a
time. And once
month,
they started playing, then it was no
my
stopping them.
Karma used to be the one who used to initiate, keep play. So Penny used to
sweet.
get tired. So that's what happens. Like, you
Yes.
have to have, as you said,
Yes.
right? Set the right expectations.
Yes. And just, take it slowly. Like, don't think things are going to happen very fast. Yeah. So I think those are the
So
challenges.
the next question is, how to start fostering if my dog is not social due to a bad experience in the past and doesn't enjoy other dogs' company much?
So I think it's all about creating that space initially. So if you have like 2 rooms, maybe give them that space. Maybe your foster dog stays in one room till they decompress, and have very short meets so that they get used to each other. Maybe through a crate or something. Those crates which act like
Playpens.
barriers.
Yeah, the playpens.
Yeah. So where they just smell each other. Things like that you could do. Now I have never done that. I kind of just throw them into the mix and then they just get along. But yeah, I know a lot of people do this where they create a little barrier so that they slowly get used to each other. And I think given time, usually dogs do kind of, and if it doesn't work, then I think you just have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, it's not something my dog is okay with, and that's okay. That's okay. You shouldn't put your dog in discomfort because you want to do something good. Your dog should come first always. So
but I think giving a chance usually
Yes, you
works
should
out, and you
definitely
should
try.
at least give a chance. Yeah.
Definitely try. And as I
Because-
said, don't think it'll happen in a day or two. So just give it a week or something also. So don't just think it's going to, okay, today it'll happen like that. No.
True, and every dog like has a personality, so you need to
Yes.
adjust according to that and be true to yourself that
Yes.
this is
Yes.
what my dog is,
Yes.
and you don't need to pretend
Yes.
anywhere that.
And don't push it also.
Yeah.
Don't be like, don't unnecessarily make your dog uncomfortable, because I think dogs also take energy of each other, and then your dog's uncomfortable and the other dog's uncomfortable, and
it breaks the trust also.
Yes.
Like your dog is there with you
Yes.
and you
All
are
the
the
time,
whole
yeah.
world, and it's like a
Exactly.
huge breach of trust.
Exactly, because you are their safe space. So it should be
Exactly.
that you still maintain that safe space for
So
them.
because instead of one, anxious dog, now you'll
Yeah.
have two at home.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Yes.
okay,
Exactly.
so the next question is, okay, is it emotionally hard to let go of a foster dog when they get adopted?
Okay, so I'll be very honest with you. The pups, I don't even remember some of them now because so many have come and gone. They'll stay for like a week. But yes, when it's a medically challenged foster stayed for many months, it is hard. And you know, also in my stories, I keep saying, I wish I had foster failed. I wish I had foster failed. So yeah, there is regret, and it's a constant regret actually,
I
because
know.
then you're like, oh no, that dog is gone. But to be honest with you, when you see them in their families and see how happy they are, it makes up for all that heartache. Seriously,
Absolutely.
it does.
True.
Like it just everything melts away, and you're like, okay, this was the right decision. So I think all the fosters that even I said, I wish I foster failed, knowing that they are in such good homes, I think that takes all the sting away from it.
And I think with experience, you get
Yes.
better at managing that emotion,
Yeah.
because I remember when I had fostered the first time with Blossom,
Yes.
I went mad. Like Penny was so devastated,
Yes.
but even I went mad thinking about,
Yes.
because firstly she was a puppy.
I
So,
know.
it's like from a
And we
puppy
had
I
those
moved
pups for
on
like a
to,
month and a half. I think it was not even a short foster.
yeah, it was 1.5 months, and it's like it takes a
Yes.
big piece of
It does,
you
it does.
away. But
Especially
I
with
think
a
with,
puppy, that long you
yeah,
bonding, right? Because it's a puppy who needs you all the time. So then you need to
yeah,
feed this, that, and also it happens, it happens. But I think, yeah, like you said, it's just about experience one, and then, like you said, knowing that they are in a good home. So that is what is the ultimate goal. So whether
true.
it's your home or someone else's, it's good.
Seeing all those updates and everything, it makes up for
Yes,
everything. It
yes,
makes you feel so fulfilled that
I
you
agree.
you played a small role in this.
Yes, yes, really.
Okay, so the next question is, how do foster dogs typically respond to love and care after being rescued from harsh conditions?
So, like I said, there is a decompression period, and every dog has a different decompression period. Some may have just one day, few hours, and then they're okay. Like, especially pups, I've noticed they'll come and they almost immediately, in your house,
Yeah,
they're all
true. They are
sorted.
like very pretty fearless, and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and they get along also with the dogs and all quite easily. And I think bigger dogs also give little bit more leeway to the young ones,
yeah.
so that helps. But yeah, with little older dogs, it can take a little time, and but honestly, they all come around. Like they are like, okay, whatever how harshest of harshest conditions also, they all come around and they're like, okay, they'll want that love, they want that companionship. So it all takes, I can't tell you it takes these many days or these many weeks. All dogs are different, but they respond to it beautifully, and I think that can only happen in a home foster.
True,
That kind
absolutely. And
of personalized attention,
that moment when you see the first time that belly up, then it's
Oh
like
yes.
so satisfactory.
Yes, yes. Or the first time they come and snuggle next to
Yeah,
you and they
yeah.
let you pet their belly.
And they don't
Oh, those
flinch.
are really yes. I mean, it's really, it feels so good knowing that they trust you.
True.
So that's
That's the
amazing.
best feeling. That belly
Yes,
up, I remember. It's like, oh my God,
yes.
I have done something. Like, oh my God,
And
that
then you
dog trusts
finally
me.
broken that barrier, right? Like
Yeah,
they've had with other humans who have not treated them well, and then you know that when they go to their home, also they're going to be
true.
able to get past this.
And for some reason, I feel it's like natural. They are able to trust the other dog in the house
Yes.
quicker than they're
Yes.
able to trust the human. So that
Yes,
makes
that's
it
always,
even
it
more
always starts
special.
with the dog. Yes, it
Yeah.
always starts with your pet dog and then you, kind of. Yes,
Jata Singh feels like an achievement. I absolutely agree.
yes,
True.
it is a big achievement actually. Yes,
Okay, so the next question is, can fostering be a good option for someone who loves dogs but can't commit to long-term ownership?
I think it's great actually because I don't know if you've noticed this, but sometimes they need a foster home without a dog also. Like either they
Yeah,
are recovering from lepto or some other disease where they can't be around other dogs. So I think it's very important to have these foster homes where they don't have dogs, love
exactly.
dogs, want dogs, but don't want to have like a 10-15 year commitment. I think this is a great option for them, especially if you can give them time, give them the walks, give them the food, give them
Yeah,
the attention. Why not? I mean, you have even at a long period, you have like, say, a 5-6 month commitment, but then it ends with that,
exactly.
so you don't have to keep
Like
going.
I
So,
that's the whole point. Like,
Yes,
it's what matters.
yes.
Like, you are getting the
And you're
love of a
preparing
dog.
yourself also. Say down the line you want to adopt a
Yeah,
dog, you are prepared now. Okay, these are the things. These are what I need to
true.
do. So I think it's a good way to have a dog and yet not have that long term
It's like
commitment also.
a good prep, because
Yes,
you know the nuances, and you
yes,
get to learn. You connect with so many amazing
yes.
people. So
And I
that's
think it's great, especially for medical cases where they cannot be put in another dog. I think it's great to have people who don't have dogs but are willing to, keep these dogs at least for some time till
yeah.
they can be with other dogs and other
And I
foster
think
homes.
those are foster homes that are easier to have, because
Yes,
with a dog fostering with an existing dog
yes,
versus somebody who doesn't
yes.
have a dog fostering, they should always be ready, and
Correct,
they
correct,
are
correct.
in plenty, to be honest.
Yes, yes, yes. And as long as you don't have very long working hours where you're out of the house for, a very long period of time, or you have help at home, of course, I think it's a really good option.
And even I would say that there are some dogs, the rescuers mentioned that they are
Yes,
so
they can
good
stay
staying
home.
alone, then it's
Yes,
like a
yes.
win-win for everybody.
I agree. I agree. Especially the older dogs, who need to. I think it's a great alternative, actually. A
True.
lot more people should do that.
Yeah, true, absolutely. So next is, what are some of the most pressing issues in animal welfare today that people often overlook?
Um, I think a lot of it has to do with just the sheer amount of abandonment cases we are seeing these days. I think it's almost ridiculous to a point. Like, I sometimes have to wonder what are people thinking. Like 2 3 month old pups coming up for adoption, 2 3 month old pups who are just like, okay, now we can't deal with this. I mean, you are first of all contributing to this shitty industry, this shitty breeding industry, and then you also don't want to commit after that. You want to say, okay, give it
Exactly.
up, give this dog up. Why?
Worst
Because
are
they're biting things.
worst are those who gift
Oh
puppies
God,
without
that's
even knowing whether
another
the
can
other
of
person will
worms.
accept it or not.
Yes, and I think why not think about these things? If you're bringing a goldfish home, I feel you should at least think about it and say, okay, can I give this animal justice? They're living beings after all. They are not
True.
toys. They are not dolls. So I think that is the biggest issue right now in animal, because no matter how many times, how many adoptions happen, there's 10 times more dogs that need homes after that. And
True.
how many homes are going to keep taking these dogs in?
Like,
So
we just
it's
saw
horrible.
Chintana stories the other day.
Yes.
Like, the rate in which adoptions happen versus the influx is
Yeah.
like there's a
I think if
huge
someone makes
gap.
a chart, you'll know exactly how
Exactly.
disproportionate it is.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, one dog gets adopted and there are three who need
Yes.
a shelter home. Like, it's
And shelters are overcrowded, foster homes are crowded, and still dogs are coming up for adoption. Some people just leave them on the road without a care. So I think what is required right now is just education. I think a lot of people like you and me have this small circle, and we keep talking about adoption, don't buy a dog. But what about beyond this circle? I think people are still unaware, don't want to learn. Maybe I don't know what the cause
that's
is.
the problem,
Yeah.
like, there are people like us, we all have made
Yes.
mistakes at least once in our life, and
Yes.
we gradually hopped onto that
Yes.
education bandwagon, and we educated ourselves, and
Yes.
we learned for the better, and now we are also spreading that with others.
Yes.
But there are some people you cannot have a conversation with them because they're not open to learning. They are
No,
like, no, this is fine, and they will give you 10 excuses, and they will
I
ultimately
agree.
knock the door of a
Yes.
breeder, and like nothing works with them. So that's the kind of mess that our rescuers
True, and I
are
think
handling.
also the larger community is just a little unaware. I think especially people outside the maybe an Instagram pet community or something. Maybe they
Exactly.
genuinely don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not saying everyone doesn't know. I'm sure a lot of people do know and still choose to buy because they want a specific breed or something. But sometimes people really don't know, how bad the breeding industry is.
So
Like you
I
have
have
to be into rescue work to know how
absolutely.
shitty it is, how bad it is.
I have literally, Nikita, there was like a person in our group who used to share adoption appeals for like street dogs and other dogs, and she still went and bought a
Oh
puppy.
God.
So I'm
That
like,
those are the people I don't
I,
understand. I can
I'm
never
like,
understand
what are
that.
you sharing the
Yeah.
appeal for? Like, what
But
is
that's
this,
only
this
for others to
contradiction?
do. Like I will do what I
Yeah.
want, but others please adopt this
Yeah,
poor
you
street
please
dog.
adopt. You please
Yeah.
adopt, but
Yeah.
I will go and buy
Yeah.
based on my
And that
convenience.
is
Or
ridiculous. That
yeah.
is ridiculous to
So
me. Like
those
how
are the
can you?
people who I think they are a lot in quantity because they know, still they choose to, like as you said, nah, I'll do what I
Yes.
want.
Yeah,
So
like
that's the
they think
case.
a choice yes, it is your choice, but then make a good choice, right? At the end of the day, it is your choice what you choose to do, but I think you should at the same time make the right choice. Know that maybe at some stage we come to a point where, dogs are not being abandoned so badly, breeding standards are higher. And yes, then why not, why not have good breeders who can breed the breed for what it is? But not right now. Now, right now, we are not in no
Yeah.
way can we even think about ethical breeders also. I think that
Exactly. And
should be.
it's a huge myth, especially
Yes.
in India, they don't exist.
And to be very honest, not everyone can afford them. Not everyone
Exactly.
can afford them. Not everyone
You
will want to. Forget about us.
Yeah,
Even celebrities who can afford to spend lakhs and lakhs will still go to a backyard breeder.
true.
They'll still go to someone who they can get it cheaper. It's just a dog, right? Why should I pay
Yeah,
so much money?
they will never like give like a lakh or something for a GSD pup
Yeah.
or a golden retriever pup.
Or
So they
try
will
to do
be,
the research, like, okay,
yeah.
this breeder at least looks after their dogs, or do at least basic research also. No one wants to do it. They're like, okay, where I get, okay, I'll go to the shop and buy. It's
So,
very bad, and I think that is
and
very much needed education.
while we are on this
Yes.
topic, I feel very happy. Like I know people are very against having a breed bias. I'm
Yeah.
not. That's
No.
completely okay to want a particular dog until and unless you are not buying and you are
Yes.
instead adopting. Because I
Yes.
don't think any breed that we can want exists that's not in a shelter right now.
I
You
agree.
just have to
Nowadays
find
it
the
is
right
like
kit.
that. Before it used to be like, okay, Shih Tzus you'll not find a Great Dane. There were these very obscure breeds we could. Now you find even Chow Chows in the
Exactly.
shelters.
And I remember Second Chance had a Pakistani bully. King
Yes.
Charles is being abandoned. I mean, I don't know
Yes.
what is left.
Yeah. Then now, and now you can, if you wait long enough, you will find whatever breed
Yeah,
you want
because
there.
I was just like a few months back, I was contacted by a person on my personal page, and
Yes.
she knows that I speak for animal welfare
Yes.
and I speak for shelters and all, and I share adoption appeals. So I felt very happy. Like
Yeah.
she was very specific that was somebody she knows wants a dog, but they
Yes.
want a puppy. And
Okay.
she said that I don't know much about this, but I have asked her not to buy. I felt
Yeah.
so happy
That is
that
so good.
just
Yes.
like
Yes.
redirecting them is very good. And she came to me,
Yes.
she said she's very specific that she wants like a cocker spaniel pup, and I'm like, I'll try my best to see if any. And by chance Debolina had shared one
Oh,
post, and
wow.
I just it was like, I think 2 months old later or something, and I
Yes.
immediately forwarded that. I'm
Yes.
not sure whether that fell through, but I was happy that
Yeah.
she knows her requirement, and I'm
Correct.
still okay with this
Yeah.
rather than schooling
For
them
as long
about.
as you're not going out to buy, and I think other than that, I think the problem, I think, with people wanting to adopt is zero patience. They don't want to fill the forms. They
Yeah.
don't want to do the house checks. I'm like, why? You go to a breeder, he'll just say, okay, give me the money, take this puppy. Now that puppy tomorrow has parvo or canine distemper, you go back to the breeder, he'll be like, not my problem. When you
Seriously.
adopt from a
Yeah.
shelter, say tomorrow there is some emergency in your family, you cannot keep this dog anymore. It's clearly written in your contract.
Exactly.
You have to give that dog back to us. That is the kind of responsibility a good organization takes, And I'm not saying
Exactly.
you should do it. No matter what, you should take full responsibility. I'm just saying, in case, at
Worst
a
case.
worst case
Yeah.
scenario you have, at least you're willing to take back the dog. What about the pup you buy? Then you're giving it up, and then it's a vicious cycle of breeders breeding, you buying, don't not wanting the dog, that dog getting adopted,
Yeah.
and it's just a cycle. It's a cycle. It
Yeah.
keeps going.
Because I remember like sometime back, one of my friends, she just, when I had shared this appeal that Sanjana had put up some stories,
Yes.
so she pinged me that I'm not ready to like adopt because the rescuers have so many conditions, and it's
Yeah.
like this they, even some of them, I know, like there are some who like go overboard, and we
Yes.
have spoken about that also,
Yes.
that
Yes.
not that much is not required,
Yes.
but at least the basics should be met
Yeah,
with.
I mean, I have also filled that form. It's not doesn't take you that long. It's
Yeah.
just about answering a few questions, and these are basic questions. I think even a breeder should be asking
Yeah.
before giving a puppy,
So
like,
I think
what are you
she
going to
had
feed the dog,
contacted
etc.
somebody for that form for, I think, a Great Dane, and they had
Yes.
definitely mentioned that our priority is that the home should be a big home with a
Yes.
garden if possible and all that. So she was very put off, and the sentence that put me off was like, how hard is it to raise a dog? So then like I
It's
kind of
hard.
schooled her that it's not all
Yeah.
hunky dory, that
No.
what we see in ads and on
Yes.
Instagram and on reels. It's not that.
It's
You
not.
should
Yes.
really know. I then sent her like links and
Yes.
links and links, and then she understood. I was happy. She was
Yes.
receptive, But this is the mentality that why are you
Yeah,
asking me
they
so
don't want
much?
to,
It's
like,
just
why
a
you asking me
dog,
about my income? Why you asking me about what I'll feed the dog? Why
size
you
of the
asking me all
house
this?
and all that. They find
Yeah.
like why all, because it's like a huge misconception
Yeah,
that
that they
it's
only
so
want to give
easy.
to.
You just have to put some
Yeah,
kibble in the
yeah,
bowl and
yeah, yeah,
take
yeah.
maybe train them to pee in the bathroom. This is another
And if
thing.
it's a small dog, then don't even take them for walk. Let them pee in the house
Oh
only.
my
No problem. No
god,
walk needed.
yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
true.
So I think that is why they don't like to be little prodded that, what will you do in this case? What will you do in this case? And very pertinent questions, at least the ones I've gone through. It's not overinflated in any way. They're
Absolutely.
very, so that they can also place the right dog with you, because you might have something else in your mind. Like, okay, I want this dog, but maybe that dog will not be suitable for your
True.
lifestyle. Like, you want
And
a
they have so
Malinois.
many years of experience. They
Yeah.
know like what dog fits
Exactly.
the best
Like, I'm not going to be
in
a
what home.
couch potato wanting a Malinois, right? I know I can never have one because I don't have the stamina to keep up with one.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
I think it's important to answer those questions because they know better than you sometimes. You should give other people a chance. So I think, yeah, those are, I
And it's
think,
like a small, very, very small question and very
yes.
heartfelt questions, very direct answers you need to
Yes.
give. And it's
It'll
not
take
like
you
that.
max 10 minutes to answer, even if you have to think about it. But I think, yeah, I think they just, there's zero thing. Like, they're just like, okay, as soon as I put my name, that should be like, oh, you want this dog? Take it, take it,
True.
take it.
So I remember like few weeks back, somebody had applied for a dog in Freegles,
Yes.
and that lady, because she knew that I have a beagle, I think she was following Penny. She pinged me asking me why they are not replying. I'm like, how am I supposed to know? So I'm like, listen, this is not how it works. She's like,
Yeah,
no, no, can you tell me some other dog because they're not replying? I'm like, see, there's a process. They get hundreds of applications because
exactly.
firstly, when it's a puppy, they are flooded. Their DMs are
Yes,
flooded, and
yes.
so I'm like, you need to. Then
They
I
need time to
anyway got,
sort out. Because
yeah.
most
So
of these
they,
organizations have a small team also, right? It's not like there are hundreds
yeah.
of people who are sorting through your
And
application.
plus figuring it out, it's like they're
Mm.
not giving you handouts. It's like figuring it
Yeah,
out, the right fit,
yeah,
analyzing it takes time. People don't, as you said, right? People don't
yeah.
have patience at
They
all.
don't have patience. They don't want to wait. Everything needs to be now. I need a dog now, they'll give it to me now only. That is
True.
the sad part.
I really forgot what we were discussing.
We were discussing the problems with animal
Yes.
welfare, like what are the challenges
So
faced.
this is the proof that we can have like 6 hours, but still
Yeah.
the conversation won't finish around that.
Yes,
It's
yes.
so huge. Okay, so how can individuals support animal welfare if they can't foster or adopt?
uh, Word of mouth, I think, really, like, speak to your neighbors who are thinking of buying a dog. Don't feel like it's not my problem, it's their problem. No, it isn't. At the end of the day, it's all our problem. We love dogs.
Absolutely.
We don't want to see them suffer. So speak to your neighbors, speak to your friends, speak to your relatives. Let them know how hard it is for not just rescuers but the dogs themselves, how dogs in the breeding industry are treated. Show them videos, show them, how pathetic it is, and make them understand in a nice way. I think a lot of people come off very strong sometimes because they're so passionate. So try to be calm, and if someone's like, no, this is my choice, so don't suddenly be like, no, this is not your choice. You can't be aggressive sometimes.
Exactly. Like
Calmly tell
educate,
them.
don't hate.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah. Because I think when someone comes at you very harshly, the first instinct is to shut off, because then you're like, oh, what do you think? I don't know anything types. So just calmly tell them what it is. And I think, yes, spreading the word of why adopt, don't shop, why breeding is so bad, even home litters, why you shouldn't be doing it. Talk to them. Don't make it be someone else's problem. It's not like the rescuer's problem. It's not NGO's
Exactly.
problems. It's all our problem. At the end of the day, it's all our problem. So talk about it. Don't just keep it to yourself and say, okay, what they are doing, I will do what is good. I will only adopt. No, it should go beyond you also sometimes. So I think that is how you can help. Another way probably is, if you are on Instagram, share the appeals, share what you can. Don't be like, oh, my Instagram algo will go here and there. I mean, I know some people it's very important, but if you are genuinely liking dogs, just share those adoption appeals, share those requests for donations.
Like it costs nothing. It doesn't cost
Literally,
anything. It's for free.
literally.
Just one share can help
Yeah.
that dog.
You don't know who's seeing your stories, right? So why not? If that dog can find a home because of you, or it doesn't happen also, at least you've tried a little bit, a small bit you have done. So I think those things, those ways, even if you don't wanna, if you don't have the capacity to pay every month or foster or whatever it is, I think these are small ways you can still help an organization.
Yeah, and another very good way would be like, if you don't have the bandwidth to physically foster or you cannot adopt, then
Yes.
maybe if you can afford like a small chunk every month, you can,
Yes.
dedicate for like
I think all
donations.
of us can. I think
Yeah,
those of us I know can
absolutely.
definitely spare at least a little bit of money every month to give one. You don't need to give it all to one organization. You can split it if you
Yeah,
have a lot.
true.
Like this, and also volunteer. Maybe I know a lot of organizations love when people come in and spend time with the dogs. You can do that also. I mean, that's great. You can give them more
True.
human interaction,
Yeah.
things like that. Yes. Not all organizations like it, but the ones who do, you can definitely volunteer. Maybe give the dogs a bath, or maybe talk to your company, see if they are up
CSR,
to doing CSR
yeah,
funding.
CSR fundings you
Yes.
can get arranged and
Yes.
like that. As Sparkle is saying, people fought with me for not giving doofus to them. There are
Doof
all
is
sorts
such a good
of
dog.
entitled folks.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure.
know, they will
I'm sure. I think everyone
fight with you
feels
as if
entitled to whatever is there.
if
This is for
they
me
have
only.
filled the form, if they
Yeah.
have approached you, you have to give the dog to
Yes.
them.
Yes. How dare you not choose me? I was the best
True.
candidate.
So the next question is, are there ethical concerns or red flags to look out for when choosing a rescue or shelter to work with? I think this
Uh,
is also very important.
I think definitely. I don't know about red flag, but I can say when they put up foster appeals, I think you should look out for people who you should talk to them and ask them. Okay, if I have an emergency, say I have to go out of town. Like I'll give you Bella's example. I had Freddie with me then, and she had passed, and I didn't have the bandwidth to look after another dog. It's different when it's our dogs and when it's a responsibility when it's someone else's dog, right?
Yeah.
So that time I had spoken to Ashley and I said, I can't keep this dog. I'm so sorry. I'm telling it to you last minute. And they got a different foster for him the next day. So definitely talk to the organization and see if there is a possibility that if you have an emergency that they will be able to take the dog off you without giving you grief for it.
Yeah.
Secondly, if it's
True.
written there, all medical expenses will be borne by us. Another great thing to have off your head, if that's something that uh, would would probably be a problem for you to do. But I don't know about red flags, honestly. And maybe if you could, we could. I've never looked out for red
Yeah.
flags that way.
I think most of them are like pretty
Yes.
accommodating, but maybe you can just see specifically about the time. Like if you have some time in mind, like, okay, I will only
Yeah.
be
Oh
able to give,
yes. I
yeah,
think
time
that
is
is
very
a great.
important. And
I
that's
think
a
that is a
very
great
important
point.
point to discuss with
Yes.
the person, like the
I think
rescuer.
I think yes, extremely important point actually. If you can only give 2 weeks, be very honest. Yeah, 2 weeks is the max I can do.
Yeah.
So do you think you should be giving me the dog? Let them decide. But yeah, be very honest about timelines. Yes,
And
and
I feel that that communication should also be very
yes,
transparent and available. Like they should be
yes,
available, because
yes,
many of people, if they're fostering, especially for the first time, so they
yes.
need a lot
They
of
need
hand
hand
holding.
holding. Yes,
Yeah. So for
yeah,
that, if that person is making you feel bad that why are you asking me and all that, then that's, I
yeah.
think,
Yes, that
something
is
you will
definitely.
never want to, work with them again.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely having someone to help you out, especially when you're doing it for the first time, is very important because it is a lot of responsibility and it's a lot to take in also, especially if it's a medical foster or a foster who needs a lot of attention. Um, Again, that also I feel like sometimes I can't fault the rescuers also because they are doing so much, and I
Yeah.
can't
True.
expect them to be on messages all the time. Uh, but yeah, at least not judging you and kind of giving you that, okay, it's not a stupid question, I'll definitely give you this answer. I think that helps,
And
because
I
no one
think,
likes to feel like they're not doing their
yeah.
best. So
And I remember another example, like when we were fostering Blossom for the first time.
yes,
So she had such, like we all know, like Daffy was also from that litter.
yes, yes,
So they had such bad bone structure, especially
yeah, I know,
Blossom was so timid. So
yeah,
she just jumped from the sofa and she broke her leg
Oh
just
my
by
god.
jumping from the sofa. I know it was a little high, but
Yeah.
any puppy normally
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
just landed normally.
Yeah.
And I was like crying and I was alone, and I was
Yes.
fearing that it was from second
Something
chance.
is,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I contacted Sanjana and I was like, I was at the vets, and she started laughing. She's like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "I don't know. I broke your dog," and I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I will do whatever it takes." She's
Yes.
like, "Just calm down." Then she told some experiences that she
Yes.
had with some other fosters and with her dog, and I felt so good. So I think that should be there, because
Yes.
definitely there will be some mistakes,
Yeah.
and you should not be like, a gun should not be held on your
Yes.
your head key. Why
Yes.
did you do this? And that's what I said, that at least that open transparency should be there.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I think give them a little time, because a lot of rescuers are run by either one or two individuals
Yeah,
or very small groups. So don't be like, okay, if I've asked you a question right now, it needs to be answered right now. Give them a little bit of leeway where that's concerned. Also, having a good foster network, like I can talk to you, right? So just having friends who have fostered before,
absolutely.
I think it's easier to ask us,
Yeah,
because we aren't dealing with cases, and also maybe we're a little more free. Would be also good. So finding like that one friend who has fostered or something like that is also great.
true. So I think community is very
Yes,
important
it
when it
is.
comes
It
to
is.
fostering. You cannot do it like all alone.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
I think that's living in a castle of your own if you think you
true.
can just manage on your own. I think it's
Yeah,
just, even if you have to just vent, and just talk about something, it's great to have a community.
true.
Even if it's not a problem as such, I just want to talk to you about this situation that has
Just
happened.
vent
So
it
that,
out instead of,
yes, yes.
keeping it inside and then it goes
And without
haywire.
being scared of being judged, like, so that is good. It's definitely good to have a
Absolutely.
community.
So the next question is, what are some myths about fostering and rescue dogs that you'd like to bust? Very,
Um,
very interesting.
that they are broken. I think this is such a common term used, that shelter dogs are broken, dogs who are abandoned are broken. That's not at all true. A lot of dogs go through very harsh conditions and they still, are very loving, very sweet, just as loving as a puppy you would buy. I think because a lot of people like to justify that by saying, oh, a sick dog or abandoned dog are
Their
heartbroken. They're
expression
not able.
only changes when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
talk
Like,
about
oh,
that.
they'll probably not gel with our family. Our kids need a puppy. I think all these very commonly are used to, discredit a shelter or an abandoned dog. That's not at all true. Yes, there might be dogs who are so badly abused that it takes them a long while to come out of that or to accept humans again, and that's okay. That's okay. And if you are not able to be that person to give them that, that's also okay. You know what you
Hmm.
can do, your capacity. But at the same time, just kind of labeling all of them as broken dogs, cannot gel with us, cannot gel with our kids, that's all
They,
crap.
are
Uh,
they are not broken. Their trust is broken, and by humans
yes,
only. So they will take
yes.
their time. And I
Yeah,
feel
and
that
some of
you
them don't
also,
even need that time. Some of them
yeah,
just bounce back like that,
true.
So it's just about the dogs. So I feel like dogs are so varied, even in their, for even the same breed. Like if you have a beagle, also the same breed, there'll be different personalities. Yeah, there are few common traits, but they're all such different person. It's wrong to kind of pigeonhole them. That okay, this. So all shelter dogs are like this. That's wrong.
Yeah, true.
That's completely wrong. So that would be
Yeah,
one myth. What about you? Any that you think?
I think this is the biggest myth,
Yeah.
and yeah, the same that, oh, even if I'm adopting from a shelter or fostering, a puppy would be better than,
Yeah.
like, a senior dog.
In fact, a
So
puppy is
around
a lot
senior
of
dogs,
work.
there are so many myths.
Yeah, I think puppies are a lot of work. People don't realize how much work they are.
My God,
Everyone thinks it's just okay, puppy, grow up with the puppy, it's all hunky dory. It's so much work. It's so much. If you go for a even slightly older dog, I'm talking about a 2, 3 year old who's still considered a puppy, even they are much nicer. Like, even the fosters, when I think of puppy fosters compared to the ones I had, are a little bigger. So much easier to train them, so much easier to get them on a schedule. It's just so easy. I think people unnecessarily put a lot of things, puppy, and I think, yeah, you need to have that experience of a puppy once, maybe. I think that's enough. Once is
yeah.
enough.
And if
Yeah.
you fostered a puppy once, you will low key pray that I
Yeah,
don't get to
like, oh,
foster a
thank God
puppy
you're gone
again.
in a week. Okay, no problem. No tears shed then. No
Yeah.
tears shed at all. Like,
No, no, no,
take,
please,
go.
please, please.
Yeah, enough now
I
I've had.
saw I saw very nice comment. Yeah, Sneha has said that animal welfare needs to get into the school system. ridiculous that textbooks will publish everything but that. I agree. I think it all
I
starts
think
from the
not
very
just this, I think how to even approach an animal, how to,
exactly.
there's zero knowledge for a lot of kids. And because some parents are so scared of dogs, I've heard them even, say like, katega or something like that. And I'm like, that's so wrong. Why are you saying
Yeah,
that?
there's one such parent in my own society. Her daughter is his daughter, not her.
Yeah.
The mother is fine. The dad is like scared to death. Even when the dog is like 100 meters away, he will like start shielding his
Oh
daughter.
God.
I'm like
And you're
the
creating
dog,
fear in
and
the
there's a
child
dog
also.
of the size of Penny. Imagine. So what will happen if they see like a
I know,
JC
big
or a
dog. If they see Buddy, they'll
yeah.
faint, I think.
Yeah. So that's like, and the daughter is crazy for Penny. She'll fight with the dad that I want to go play. I love Penny. She's my friend. She's my friend. But he, and the other little kids are telling him, Uncle, don't worry. Penny is very friendly and we all play with her. तो ये भी नहीं 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 एक बार हो गया ना बस ठीक है वरना काट लेगी. I'm like,
That is horrible,
you are
That's
just,
very wrong to say.
and I feel very insulted that you are saying
Yeah.
this for my dog कि काट
Yeah.
लेगी मतलब क्या काट
Yeah,
लेगी यार, and
that's
this is
so
not
wrong. Like
done.
that's like telling his kid, "Oh, your kid is so misbehaved" or something.
Yeah.
How would he
So,
like it?
and imagine like once or twice she doesn't care, but there will be a time when she will start caring. When she
Yes,
starts getting ki, why is my father always telling me
yes,
ki kaat lega? So maybe it's true.
yes. Yeah, and
So,
then you're creating unnecessary fear in a child, and then that will go to all other dogs, animals, and all. So it's very unnecessary. I feel
yeah.
even if you are afraid of something, you should not put that fear into your kids also. So that's why I think it's important to teach them in school, where it's neutral territory, and all of them will be learning together.
True.
I
Because
and
animals,
also
and especially like domesticated animals, they are like a huge part of our civilization.
yes,
So how can we not know how to approach them, how to be around
yeah.
them? Like I feel very sad. Schools are taking kids to zoos,
Yeah, I
but they
know.
will never
Not,
take them to a shelter or
oh yeah. Or at least
have
even do like a class with a dog, and say this is how
yeah
you pet a dog, this is how you approach a dog. There are, I mean, use like a therapy dog or something to show them how you should be with a dog. You should not suddenly touch
yeah.
them. Always ask permission. All these things, I think it'll be really good to teach in school, and just not just for dogs. I think animals in general, there should be some empathy created within kids. That will help take it to their parents also, and then the next generation that is to come also.
Exactly. True.
Yes.
Like it's irrespective of whether you do have a dog or you even
Yes.
plan to have a dog, you have to understand and know
Yes.
how to be around dogs.
Yes. I think that's so important, and it should be taught. Should be a subject in school where kids, even from a young age, are taught how to approach animals and how to show empathy towards them. Whether they are street animals in a home, whatever it is, they should be taught that very importantly.
Absolutely.
They should.
Yeah, it was a very good point because it all starts from that age.
Yeah, and really it'll help a lot. Like I said, not just their parents, but the future generation to come also can be little more better at approaching
Yeah, I think
animals.
you should encourage them to volunteer
Yes,
more and go
yes,
for such social activities that will
yes.
shape them very empathetic and
Yes,
very
yes,
loving,
it's very
compassionate.
important because it not only helps with animals, but even their interaction with humans also will
It
improve.
definitely impacts. Like we
Yes,
all know kids who are being raised with dogs,
yes,
their empathy and compassion is something else in comparison to
correct.
any kids of their age.
That is true. That is true.
Because
That is true. I
we
know.
have like a very sweet child who plays with Penny and she has her dog Simba. So Simba and Penny are very good friends. So
Okay.
whenever other kids are coming, she's the one who's educating them that
I
no,
remember
don't touch
I
that
saw this
way.
on your stories. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
she's like telling no, don't do that way.
yes,
She doesn't like kids will come and they'll coddle Penny, and although Penny's okay, but still I don't encourage
yes.
that because you should not do with any other dog.
Other dog.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
she's the one before I
So,
am able to see, she'll come and educate. So that's what and some other kid was saying ki auntie, which dog is it, or it karke the kid was
okay.
addressing. So she's like, she's not an object, she's a girl, you have to call her she. I felt
So
so happy
sweet. That's so
that
nice. That's
this
so
is
nice.
what
More kids
happens.
like that, please. Yes.
Exactly, and I'm like, I told someone that we'll have some small workshop and we'll ask
Yes.
Mishka to head it,
Yes.
and we'll
Yes.
have all her friends listen to her and
Yes. I
understand.
think that would be the best. Yes. That would be really good.
True. So, okay, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start fostering but feels unsure or overwhelmed?
Mm. See, first is to just understand your capacity. Like, it's very important to be truthful to yourself. Like, firstly, how much time can you give them? what kind of foster can you do. So if you're someone who's working a long shift or cannot give much time to the dog, please don't take a puppy foster. They need a lot of time, they need a lot of structure. You can't just leave them to their vices. Like I said, when you had asked about how much training and this and that, yeah, I'm not saying you should go to a trainer, but the least of taking them and putting them on a pee pad so they are learn that, so it's easier for the family who comes next. I think it's very important. So please be very sure in yourself that what you can handle, and be honest to the rescuer or the NGO that this is my capacity, so they can also decipher if they want to give you the dog to
True.
foster. Secondly is
Because as you
again,
said, right, a puppy is not
yeah.
a fit for every home. Like
No,
people
it's
think now
not.
that we will just bring in a puppy, and
Yeah.
that's not the even
If
for
you
foster.
can't give
Like,
them time, then please do not get a puppy foster. Don't get a puppy home also, but don't even get a foster puppy. Because even if it's a question of 1 or 2 weeks, those 1 or 2 weeks are very important in a puppy's life. Like you will be
true,
spoiling it for the
yeah.
next family otherwise.
Every moment that like learning something, and
Yes,
it's
they're
very
picking up
important.
a lot, right? So I think that structure is important, no matter how much you. So, like I said, be very honest with what you can do. Like this is the timing I can give. This is how long I can foster. Again, with a medical foster, can you take them to the vet as often as they need to go? So again, be honest about those things. So at the end of the day, just be honest with yourself what your capacity is, and then think about taking a foster. A lot of fosters are very easy. Like a lot of my golden retriever fosters came in, and one day they were like, okay, toilet train, this train. So there can be those kind of fosters,
Yeah,
and
like
they are
breed
very easy.
specific traits sometimes you're
Yeah.
able to pick up very easily.
Yes. So yeah, so there are those things. Other than that, yeah, I think that's what else can. I think just what you would prepare yourself for a dog also, like you're bringing home a dog, so you buy them a bowl, things like that. Like have different spaces. So if you have a dog, if you have a dog, then already at home,
Stella
make
has
sure
an
you have separate
opinion.
spaces for them. Suddenly, they've all decided to start playing with each other. I don't know why. What's
Because
wrong?
they're like, I will prove my mother wrong that we
Yeah.
don't gel. See, all of us are playing.
Yeah. Because today only I posted that none of them are playing with each other. Luna's so bored. So suddenly they all
Sometimes I
decided
wonder
to play.
they secretly watch our stories or what.
Yeah. So if you have another dog at home, create separate spaces for eating and stuff, because you don't know how the other dog, they might have food aggression or they may not like sharing their space with another dog. So give that space. So make sure you can put them in different rooms if required, things like that. So know your own dog, know what they can. Like I know Luna is a little bit. She has her behavioral issues, so I know how to mitigate that also. So yeah, so understanding your dog, if you have a dog already, or if you don't have a dog, then knowing what your capacity
I
is
think
really.
you can, we can also stress on that enough that you should talk to an experienced foster
You should,
first. Like,
yes,
that
yes,
can give you a lot of insight, and they can actually, you can have a lot of fears, but they can help
yes,
you mitigate them, as you
yes,
said, right? And
yes,
even with the rescuer, like I feel transparency is very important regarding the
yes,
financials. I think finances are the biggest
yes,
roadblock that a person can have.
yes,
So
yes.
addressing that is very important, that
I
where do
agree.
I stand
Like
with
you were
regards
talking about
to.
experienced foster, so I would call myself a slightly experienced foster. But even me, when I was taking Jimmy in, because first of all, he had come from a home which was so abusive, and then secondly, the home he went to fed him all sorts of crap, so he had really bad gut issues. So I remember I spoke to another foster who had fostered him before, and she gave me so much information, like what to feed him, what are his schedules. Like, so even someone like me who's fostered quite a bit and knows a little bit of stuff, even I needed that little talk and
Yeah, I remember
how
you
to
had
go
put up a
about it.
story.
Yes,
Like even for
and that's so
Stella, you had
helpful.
put up like if
Yes,
somebody has experience with a
yes,
Frenchie foster, like yeah, that's
yes.
always a learning. Yeah,
What are you doing, Stella? Picked up something. Stella, no.
Penny is knocking on my door. Penny, you want to come in? She is very clever. I have to like close it a little because she can open it with her hand
Yeah,
and
now
come
I
inside.
realize I should have also closed the door because there's too many distractions now. I don't know what she's chewing also. Okay, we'll deal with it later.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody has said best tips from the bestest foster mama.
Oh, that's from
Snuggles.
Sarika. She's
Yes.
just being biased.
So the next question is, can you share a heartwarming story or transformation from one of your foster experiences?
I think you know which one this is. This is my Julie. So, actually, I wanted a Great Dane.
We didn't even know which breed, which breed
We didn't
she is.
know. Yeah, so actually, I had got a Great Dane from SES and things didn't work out. So, she got rehomed. So, I think Sanjana felt really bad that I didn't have it. So, when they got this puppy in, she was like, okay, there's this Great Dane puppy. Why don't you foster to adopt kind of
Hannah,
thing?
I remember, right?
Hannah. No,
Yeah.
Hannah was the one who had to be rehomed.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I got to know about Julie and I went to Cessna that time and I saw this dog who was so skinny, so, the light in her eyes were not there. She was just so thin. And I was like, okay, I'll foster her as soon as she's ready. And I think 2-3 days after I had met her, I had gone to pick her up also. And the first time I had taken her to my vet, and I was like, so this Great Dane, he's like, he's not a Great Dane. So I said, oh, what is she then? He's like, see, I'm not sure. I'm 99% sure she's a Cane Corso or Cane Corso, however you pronounce that. But she's definitely a Mastiff. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, and what a majestic
Yeah.
beast that girl has turned into.
I know.
My
I
God.
couldn't believe that when I see her also, and she's not even the biggest size of her
Yeah.
breed. Like she's still quite a small size of the breed that she is. But yes, that was the best transformation. I think the most rewarding fostering I've ever done is definitely Julie. I think, and she got such a beautiful home. So I was very happy. Unfortunately, she went home when I was abroad, so I didn't get to say those
Yeah.
byes. But they were kind enough to allow me to come to their home and kind of see her. But I don't know, I've had the worst luck with my fosters. Every time I go meet them, they're all like, oh, they come and see me, and they're like, okay, bye. Like, 'cause they don't, it's like they don't recognize you. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you guys have forgotten me so fast. And it's with all the fosters. I just have shitty luck, I think.
But
Hey, it's good. In a way, they've
Exactly.
forgotten me and they're happy in their new
yeah,
family.
they're happy
I
where
take it
they
that
are.
way.
They're happier where they are. So that's
Yeah, so
the
I
best
take it
thing.
that way, like, because I don't want to have more heartache. Like, they've just forgotten. So, yeah, that is my favorite story so far, yes. And I had her also for quite a bit, and she was a very sweet dog, and she and Luna also got along really well. Like, right now,
Luna, I
that's
think
my goal to
Luna
get a
gets
dog.
along with it. I think except maybe Jimmy, she's got along with everybody. Like with Stella also, she started playing and
She
cuddling and
doesn't play
sleeping.
really. They kind of just exist in the same space, and she's okay with her coming when she's eating and all, which is a big thing for Luna. But yeah, even Daisy, she was not very. She didn't care much. But Daisy also wasn't a dog who was very dog oriented.
With Elsa,
So I think that was.
I remember she used to play.
Oh
a lot.
yes, Elsa, Ellie also.
Ellie, yeah.
Yes. So that's why I was like, okay, you need a retriever girlfriend. Clearly, you like them.
Luna making things very clear. That
Yeah,
listen,
she
these
has
are
her
the rules.
set. Yeah.
Okay, so next is how do foster dogs typically behave in the first few days of arriving in a new home?
So again, it's very different. Like I'll tell you, my puppy fosters almost immediately they are in tune with what's happening in the house. No, what do you say, like a decompression period or anything, nothing like that. Older dogs sometimes, again, when they're a little more younger, say like 2-1 year old, again, much faster in the uptake, but a little more, and also from the kind of background they come from. So if they're a little more from a little more worse background, then yeah, they take a little time to kind of open up. I'll tell you a very funny thing. Actually, most of my fosters who come, the first 2 days they're so good about using pee pads, going out in the garden and stuff, and then the minute they get used to the whole house, they're like, oh, pee here, pee there, poop here, poop there. Like then there's
Oh,
no
I'm
structure.
allowed. I'm allowed.
Yeah, like then it's like, oh, I'll go anywhere. That's the funny part of it. But yeah, it does. It can. So what I want to convey is that it can take a long time. It can take a short time. It can take a long time. But give them space. So give them the space to come up to you, get used to you, and don't force it. Don't go like purposely snuggle them.
Yeah,
Give them
and
that time that okay.
unnecessarily going and shouting
Yeah.
at them to
Yeah.
discipline them, that's also not
Don't
the
do that, yeah, because they are also trying to learn, so just give them a little bit of what
And
you say,
you're trying to
leniency.
create a safe
Yes.
space for them, and not
Yes.
not something like a
Yes.
rehab center where you have to
Yes.
be disciplined from day one, and
No,
that doesn't
I
work.
think, yeah, just give them a little leeway because they are also in your house for the first time, so they don't know the rules. So I think in most dogs get used to things very fast. Like at least for me, I've not had a problem where it's perpetually a problem ever. So even if it's a pee and poop situation, eventually like a week or 2 weeks, they're all
Yeah.
okay. Like they're good. Or at least
They
they have
learn
that
very
space in the
fast.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
So
learn
even
very fast.
Yeah, they learn very fast and they are very good also. So I think just give them space. Don't invade their space. Give them, like, even when you're feeding them and all, you don't need to be putting your hand in their bowls
True,
and stuff. That's it's all rubbish that you need to do those things. Give them their space. They will get used to it.
true. Okay, so, do foster dogs usually get along with resident pets? How can fosters manage initial introductions?
So with me again, I've not had a problem with my foster dogs getting used to. I think there was only one ever when I had fostered this baby beagle. I think the second day I had to say I can't do it because Elmo didn't like it at all. That was the only time. But other than that, I, I've not had any problem as such. My dogs get along pretty well with other dogs. Yeah, they are not playing with them. Like Buddy's not going to be playing with the dog. Elmo's not going to be playing with the dog. Like Luna's not playing right now also. So that's okay. But I've not had this issue of trying to get them to like a slow introduction. I think my dogs just get thrown into it as does the foster dog, and it just happens to work out.
Sometimes I feel
So
that they really understand that,
yeah,
that dog needs this home,
yes,
needs this space. I think
yes.
maybe because they understand energy the
And because I think I
best.
do it way too often, so they are now
Yeah.
just
So
resigned to
they're
the
like, oh,
fact I have to
next,
deal with this.
another next is here.
Yeah. I think when they go, they're like, oh, it's too quiet. When's the next one coming?
True. But
That's how
like
I
with
think of it.
Luna, with Luna who was with us, my
Yes.
foster Luna, with us we experienced that she was not accepting Penny at all for I think at least 1 week
Oh,
straight.
wow.
So we used
Wow.
to keep her
Okay.
in a playpen, and I was very sad because this girl is very very nosy and she wants every single dog to play with her.
Of course.
Actually I get worried a lot of times because not every dog wants to play with
Yes.
you. Like
Yeah.
they feel that you're being a bully. So
Yeah.
like that's what she is. So when Luna came, Penny just went in casually. She started sniffing her. Luna
Okay.
snapped instantly and very badly. So we had to just pull Penny back.
Yeah.
Penny
Yeah.
got scared, but Penny doesn't give up. She's like, she
Yeah.
will not give up,
So
no
sweet.
matter however many times she gets bitten also.
She
So we
like,
had
I'll
that
get you to
playpen.
play with me.
Yeah, so we had that playpen that my friend Ashwini had
Yes.
given it to us. So
Yeah.
Luna would always stay inside, and she was very happy because I think she liked that space of her
Yes.
own. So
Yes.
Penny, and even if Penny would come and close to that, so she would start growling, and
Oh.
she would not tolerate Penny. So we were having a very hard time. We were getting so skeptical that will this
Right.
work, because with
Right.
Luna there was no shelter involved. It was all
Right.
us rescue
Right.
and then adoption also. So there was an indefinite timeline. So
Right.
we were so
Right.
scared. But this girl, when we were like having dinner, we went and saw Luna is there on her bed. So we had kept her bed inside the playpen. Penny
Yeah.
sitting outside the door like this, and it was so funny. And like
Oh, so
she
sweet.
literally went, and Luna is very softly she's growling. Then from
Okay.
like 2 days later she stopped growling. She's just staring at Penny. She's very like skeptical that okay, don't cross this
Yeah.
boundary. But Penny didn't give up. She's sitting
She's
on the
waiting for
door,
her to give her
yeah,
permission
waiting
to
for her,
play.
like winning her love and all that kind of a thing.
So sweet.
And then actually that happened. I think it took 1 week, and we were like, then they started like coexisting. So we were like, that's also fine. So
Yeah.
we were coming back from a walk, and I don't know, it's like what epiphany happened. We were waiting for the lift. We were going up to the apartment. Luna just came and she put her hand on Penny's head. And they
Oh.
started playing. And like it's like, कि, चलो अभी मैंने तुम्हें माफ किया.
Okay,
It's
now
like,
you have my blessings to
you
play
have my
with me.
blessing, yeah.
Yeah.
And they started playing, and then everybody knows like they were
Yeah, yeah. I
inseparable.
mean, really, they
So
had
that is
such a
like
good time.
sometimes it works out. You
I
just
think I
like
didn't
we
even know that they
discuss.
had this initial
Yeah,
struggle.
we were very okay that it's okay, they're not going to play. Because with Karma Chalo, we knew that they were coexisting from the beginning,
Right.
but with Luna, it
And
was
also,
like,
Karma
it
was a
was,
little sick also, right?
yeah, and with Luna, it was like she had been through a lot. She was on the
Right.
streets for God knows how long. We were assuming for 6 months at least.
Oh,
So
God.
she had, yeah,
So she was
she
in
had
flight
it.
or fight, right? So when she came to you.
Absolutely. And maybe because, she had bite marks, so other
Yes.
dogs had bitten her also. So she
So
was
she had
very
a
wary
little
of
bit
other
of
dogs.
apprehension.
Yeah, but from that to this, it happened. So that's what I would
So
say
yeah,
that
like
you
you said,
just,
it just takes time, right?
sometimes
And
it works out eventually, it
yeah.
does work out. You just have to be ready to give in
And it's
that much
okay to
of
give them that space. I
true.
think it's good to have like a little bit of like a partition or
Play,
something.
playpens are
Yeah.
amazing for this because
Yeah.
it's not even a crate that the area is
Correct.
smaller.
Correct.
It's like a huge room for them, and they
And
are
it makes
feeling
it,
very
like you
happy.
said, it gave her a safe space also where she didn't have to interact with Penny till she
Yeah,
wanted to.
and
Yeah.
she's seeing, and because I could see that transition, that she knows that this is my area and this dog is not going to cross. So
Yes,
that
yes.
trust was getting built, and
Correct,
eventually she
correct.
stopped growling. She would just, it was so funny. She would like sit on her bed like this, and she would just stare at Penny. That why are you
Penny's
here?
still
I'm not
here.
playing with you.
Penny is like that lover, you know, in movies where
Doesn't
the
give
girl
up.
will keep saying no, 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 and then they're just broken
That
down finally at
stalker,
the
that
end.
lover, she's that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's like, okay, I will get you to love me, no matter what.
Yeah, true. So yeah, that these are some amazing tips, and I think I think most people just fear a lot of things because they've not experienced this. So talking to
Yes.
like experienced people, fosters
Yes.
like you, it helps get the
Yes.
perspective.
And I also think a lot of people put a lot of things that they're, oh, my dog will never like another dog. My dog will not. You know, I think there's a lot of. I also thought Buddy will not like another dog till he has now like how many siblings. So it's just.
And more keep coming and going. So
Yeah,
he's
and more
like,
like temporary siblings also he keeps having. So I mean,
yeah.
it's just about perspective, you know. It's just.
We don't like give them enough credit, and
Yeah.
until unless you've exposed them to that situation,
Yes.
you'll never know.
And it's
So
very different when you meet dogs outside and when they meet them in their home. It's totally two
absolutely.
different
And
things. Yes.
on leash and off leash,
Very
the interactions are
different.
way different.
Very different because they have a lot of options to go away from that situation as opposed to when they're on the leash, they are kind of forced to be in that situation.
True.
So I think that also causes a lot of issues.
So I think
So,
not
yeah, another thing actually to get them used to it, you can always meet in a neutral territory.
True.
So, like you have that park, right?
Yeah.
So, meeting the foster dog first there and then going to the house together may also help. You
True.
know, I know that.
True.
I know
Yeah.
Chavi uses that a lot. Like when she has a new dog coming in, they meet in the park and then they kind of go up. So that makes everything neutral. So for Sparkle also, it's like okay, it's not someone suddenly invading my space.
Yeah, there's no threat, there's no territory, there's nothing to
Yes.
worry, and people like both of them can just go their separate ways.
Yes, yes. I think that's also a good idea of just starting in a neutral territory and then going to the home together, kind of.
From
So it's like,
what
okay,
I
walking it.
have seen is like usually they get along eventually.
Yes.
Because
Like I've not had this problem of creating spaces and all. Yes, I have created spaces when they need to eat separately because, like even Jimmy has a little bit of when the food is there, he's like hanga hanga. So I feed him outside. So like those things I do, but not in terms of like okay, and now I need to keep this dog in one room, etc. That's never happened.
And I think you can also gain that knowledge that you can watch the signs because
Yes.
most people think that everything is play. It's not that. Many times
It's
it can escalate very quickly.
And I think also don't tell your dog not to do certain things. Like growling is a very normal thing to do.
Yeah.
Don't like no stop it because then the next thing is to bite because if they're not allowed to give those warning signals then they're gonna bite.
Yeah.
So don't stop them from like even Luna when she corrects, like if they're coming near her when I don't correct her because I know that is her way of establishing boundaries with the dog.
True.
She's not going to bite them. I know that for sure. So for her to kind of give that, I know it's scary. It's scary for the dog also, but they need to understand that these are her boundaries.
Exactly.
So don't be like, no, my dog has to be on the best behavior. No, let them set their own boundaries.
They are
dogs are very
like
good
smarter
at that.
when it comes to building equations.
Yes.
So
They know better.
exactly whom they want to gel
Yes.
with and whom they don't.
And unless it's a fight that's happening, you should not intervene. I feel let them sort their stuff out.
Yeah, and most times, Nikita, I've seen that they don't unnecessarily start biting each other.
No,
like they
no,
have a whole
never.
process,
Yes.
and you have to just
Till it
gauge
gets
it
to
at the
that,
right
yeah.
time.
And you'll catch it before that. Like if you know your dog especially, you'll see the signs. You'll see that okay, they're getting uncomfortable, they're not liking it. So I think know your dog's body language and understand them, and then it's very easy. And don't correct them for small things like growling or even snapping a little bit. Those are very normal things. Don't keep correcting them for every little thing because then there's no other alternative you're leaving them.
True.
So give them that space.
That's their language. Like what else are they supposed to say?
I think growling, barking are such normal things, but people have made it like, oh, aggressive. So unnecessarily,
Even
it's very stupid.
Common people, like when they'll hear a dog bark, or maybe even somebody, who's a non-dog person who's come to my place, and if Penny is barking for attention, so they'll start feeling scared that, oh my God, I'm like, why are you feeling? She's not angry.
She's talking to you.
She's excited, she's happy, she wants your attention. Not every bark is aggression.
No, it's not. And most of the time, it's not aggressive. It's a warning sign. Sometimes it's a happy sign.
Yeah.
There's so many different reasons also they bark, right?
Exactly.
So it's just, I think give your dog space, give the other dog space, and don't keep correcting them for silly things like barking or even snapping. I feel that's unnecessary.
True.
Let them set their own boundaries.
So the next question is, can fosters be involved in selecting the adopters or giving input on where the dog goes?
So selecting adopters, no, because I think the NGOs or the rescuers have a very good knowledge about how to assess people, even from a written form. Also, I don't think, as a layperson, I'm talking about myself here, I could really, even in one meeting, assess someone, because everyone's on a good behavior when you first meet them, right? No one's going to be like, oh, these are my red flags, see this. So, but you have intuitions, okay? Like all of us have those things. So sometimes a family comes and you're not 100% sure about, something doesn't feel right, or they say something, that suddenly triggers something, and you're like, oh, that's not good. So conveying your feelings to the rescuers, please do that, because I think it's very important. You have lived with the dog for so many months, weeks, whatever. So you know their personality, and you know if these people will be able to manage that personality.
Nikita, your voice is not audible. Yeah, now I can.
Almost sorry. So just you can tell them what your feelings are about the family, but also be a little objective. Okay, I know like some people's English may not be so good, and you're not getting things across at the way they want to. So give them a little leeway. Just so definitely not choosing the doctor, but you can give them inputs. Like they'll come and see the dog or something, and you feel something is off. You can make that known, but ultimate decision will always be with the rescuer.
Absolutely. And I think even the rescuers, they like look forward to the inputs of the foster, because ultimately the
Yes.
dog was with the foster for that long,
Yes.
and they would know like the nitty
Yes.
gritties and everything that they can better explain to the
Yes,
doctors.
yes. They want you to tell them. So don't be like, oh, should I say it? Please say
Yeah,
it. Like, don't be regretting it later, because for the same reason that dog is now returned, then you'll feel even worse
true.
about it. So tell them beforehand, like, this is a problem. I think you should look into it, or this, I felt this was not so great. So whatever you feel, make it known to them. Then what they do with that information is up to them,
Yeah,
because ultimately the decision is up to them.
yeah. And it's their years and years of experience that,
Yes,
they gauge families better than
yes,
you can
yes,
know better about the foster dog, but they know
yes.
better about the families.
Correct, correct,
So
definitely,
that's
definitely.
okay. So the next is, who usually pays for the dog's food, medical expenses, or grooming? I think we've pretty much
Yeah, we've
covered.
done that. So food is basically us. Medical depends. If you want to take that expense on you, you can. Most NGOs will say we will pay for the medical. So yeah, so that is how it usually works. I think food is something we can do. That's basic.
Yeah, that I mean, it's not. It doesn't even sound good that you're asking
Yeah,
anybody else to pay for the food for
and
a
most of
dog you're
these dogs
fostering.
come with such basic food needs. So I mean, just
True.
you don't even need to be putting 10,000 supplements in it. Just give them
Yeah,
basic good food,
exactly.
homemade food. It's enough. Yeah.
Uh, is fostering financially sustainable for most people? How can communities support foster homes?
Uh, Okay, so if you're going to be taking on the medical part of it, also maybe it's not financially sustainable all the time, because if you're having a medical foster every time you foster, yeah, it's going to be pretty draining on your pocket. How can community help? I think a lot of NGOs, if they are taking on the medical expenses, do put up donation appeals, so you can share those things. You can share it with your family who can help, or your community as well. You can be like, okay, so I've had these expenses, if you would like
Hmm.
to reimburse.
Yeah.
So again, it depends on person to person. But it is expensive. Like, I'll be very honest, fostering is expensive. It depends on how much you want to also do for your dog. It's a personal choice, but yeah, it does get expensive at times. So do it as per your capacity. I would say, if after fostering one dog you feel it's been a little, give yourself a break, then do it after a few months or however you feel.
Yeah.
It need not be a every time base. Like the minute you give up, a foster gets adopted, you don't need to get another foster.
True.
You can give yourself time to kind of recuperate and then get back.
Absolutely. Because it is draining, like
Yes,
financially, emotionally,
yes,
physically. Many times it's, especially
everything.
as you said, if it's a medical
Yes,
case,
yes,
then though it is draining. So, like,
yes,
no, all these unnecessary pressures should not be on you. So
yes.
that's what I would say.
Yes, I think, yeah. So it's a personal thing. It is expensive sometimes. So give yourself, like, you look at how it works for you, and then you do it according to your budget also. It's
True.
a
And I think
personal thing.
community supports, as we discussed, it matters a
It
lot.
does.
Like
Yeah, it's not just
internally,
monetarily. Like, even
yeah,
just giving information, like,
yeah.
okay, I think this is a better supplement you can use, or this is a better food source you can use. So yeah, community definitely helps. Yes.
Okay. so I think we've pretty much reached the end. We have just a few questions more. What major or common challenges you have faced in adoptions of your foster dogs? We know the biggest challenge that recently you faced.
What?
Uh,
Which one?
the last foster, right? Before this,
Daisy.
the skin
Oh,
condition because
oh
of
yeah,
that.
like
Yeah.
oh god, yes, yeah. So I think a lot of problems with fostering comes with when you face rejection. Actually, this was the first time it happened with Elsa, where a family came, saw her, and then looked very promising also, and then ultimately came and said, "Oh, you know, her skin issues are very bothersome," and I was like, "Ugh, why did you do this? Like it's such a simple thing, you know. It's not even something that's affecting her physically. It's literally how she looks, and you're going to talk about, you know, it was very annoying
Like
actually.
having
And
very stupid beauty standards for dogs also
yeah,
now we're having.
like you want to adopt a dog and then you have such high standards. Oh no, they have to look like this, they have to perform like this. It feels like you're coming for to buy a car and not to adopt a living being.
Exactly.
Like imagine I said that about you, like how you I judged you based on how you looked and not the person you are. Just imagine if
Exactly.
I did that. Oh, it was very annoying. And at that time, I think I said, okay, if no one's coming for Elsa, I'm keeping her. I'm not going to go to these stupid meet and greets for them to just come back with such silly excuses for not adopting her because she was such a good dog. So yes, I think those are very annoying ones. Other than that, nothing really. It's just when they come with stupid excuses why they don't want to adopt the dog. I think that's very annoying. But other than
And
that,
when
I
they
didn't.
waste your time, like they
Oh
will
yeah,
take,
talk so much,
yeah,
ask
talk
so
so
many
much,
things.
constantly ask questions, and ultimately it's a no.
Yeah,
So
like if you're adopting the dog, I'm like 100% ready to help you through every little thing. But don't be like ask me 101 questions. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not interested. Like, why did you waste everyone's time?
true.
And you wasted your own time also. Stupid.
And as you said, like they will come with the most ridiculous, and many times I've seen, like when we were getting Luna adopted, so there was like a couple, and that woman, she was all yes, yes, we'll do, and she's perfect. And when I saw her photo, I connected. We were very happy because she gave all the good answers. Food, she was okay. Ultimately, she like hung us over for, like, we were discussing for like a 10 days almost, and
Wow.
because everything was fine, we were planning a meet and greet and that you come.
Okay.
And eventually she said she stopped replying to us, she stopped picking
Oh.
our calls.
Oh
And the
God.
reason, she just dropped a message and she blocked us. And she just,
Wow.
so that we are not even able to question that her husband has refused. And we got to know, then just a couple texts we could exchange. So she said that I hadn't discussed with him, I'm so sorry.
Oh
I mean,
God.
from 10 days you're talking to us, your
Yeah.
husband doesn't know, and we felt so bad because we had our hopes like so
I
high
know. And
up.
then you wasted so much time also, right?
Yeah,
Time you could have given to another better
exactly, and we were
adopter.
draining our energy towards her more than anybody else. And it's like, because she was an indie, so it's tougher for
Yes.
them to get adopted. And
Yes.
after so much brainstorming, finally we got one lead, and
Yes.
that's like, these are the reasons that
Yeah, I know.
people face.
It's really sad. Like most, like 90% of the times I met the families are the ones who have adopted them, so they've been really good. Just
True.
that one really bad experience, I think I was just so.
It's rare, but it is there, like
It is
a
there,
pinch of
yeah.
salt. It will be there.
Yes. I think because the rescuers and the NGOs already filter out a lot of the crap,
True.
so
Yeah.
we get to see only the little. So we
They
are
are the
quite
ones, like
sheltered.
who
Yeah.
are really,
Yeah.
getting their heads blown up with all
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
nonsense.
So we are still, a little bit better off. Like, okay, we get the like Indian Idol auditions, now. Like all the shitty singers get thing out first, then you get the best
Yeah.
ones out of all of them.
True. 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 Okay, so I think we've reached the last question. Oh my
Yes. Oh
God,
wow.
shortest session.
Yes.
Have you stayed in touch with families who adopted your fosters?
So I don't force it because I know some people don't like. So it's open to them. When they would like to send me pictures, I definitely like getting updates. I've never pinged them specifically to ask them. I remember Ruby, one of my Beagle fosters, she recently passed away, and the lady told me about how she went peacefully. And also, I'm very thankful when they do those things, but I don't force it. If you meet the fosters and you tell them, can you keep up to date with me? And they
Exactly.
do it fine, but I don't think you should push it. The first few weeks, I know you are very thing to know things are fine, then it's okay. But I think at some point, just let it be a communication from their end first. if they would
I
like to
think
take
that's
that
what
step.
you have to make peace with. Like
Yeah, like
this
sometimes
comes
they
with a
don't
little
want to talk
heartache,
to
and you
you.
have to accept it.
Yeah, you just have to be like, okay, fine, I'll not know about this dog again. If they have
Exactly.
Instagram accounts, that's the best part. Then okay, you don't need
True, true, true.
just
Yeah.
know through those Insta updates. That's the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think
for
that's
sure.
important. As you said,
Yes.
you have to, it's better to leave it with the adopters. It should be
Because you
their
don't want to
decision
come off too
ultimately.
strong, right?
Yeah.
Like you
Even
like.
I've seen that many people have very strong opinions when, the adopting family changes the name.
Oh,
So I'm like, it's up to them.
yeah,
It's
it's their
their
dog.
dog
Yeah,
ultimately. You
yeah.
cannot have that.
Like you might think that's the best name
Yeah.
ever. They are probably like, ew, yeah, what is that
Yeah.
name?
They must have had, some
Yeah,
names
everyone has their
shortlisted
own
in their
name.
mind.
Yeah.
So
I think put yourself in that situation. Like if you were adopting and you didn't like the name, it's completely okay if you changed it. I mean, it's a very small
true.
thing. It's not. It's perfectly okay. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this is nothing. So
Exactly.
as long as they're looking after the dog, that's all that
And to be
matters.
honest, that is so fulfilling watching them. Like
Yes.
I remember I showed that video the first. You were the first person, one of the first
Yes.
people who I showed for Charlie.
I know.
That
Yes. Yes.
oh
Yes.
my god, he was hopping and
I
jumping
know.
on the swings.
I know.
Sumit and I, we were not able to believe, is this the
The
same
same
Charlie who
dog.
was
I
like
know.
dragging himself?
I know.
And that is so fulfilling. And that was not something I
When
asked.
Charlie
Like
came to you in a very bad shape, I remember how much you all
that is the
struggled.
hardest. Like Karma was
Yes.
also medical
Yes.
thing, but she was like just recouping. But
Yes.
Charlie, we did not
Yes.
know what happened. So
Yes.
even our vet, like Dr. Nanjanappa, was clueless that he used to feel so sad watching him, and I
I
don't
know.
know, that was very
I
painful
mean,
to watch.
even when I used to say he couldn't even stand to eat, it
Oh
was so
my
bad.
god. I have bathed him 5 times a day. There were
Wow.
2 days where I bathed him 4 to 5 times because he used to pee and immediately fall.
Oh my
So
god.
you have and pee is something you cannot get rid
I
of
know,
that
I
smell
know, I
unless you
know.
wash it.
And it's for him
So
also, it's a little thing,
and
like he's not
no,
feeling.
Nikita, that was the first time I saw that he used to feel, that bad, that, something bad has
Like
happened. I'm
he's
not
done
even able to.
something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they feel exactly, but if I could understand whatever little, he
Yes.
was very, like, I won't say ashamed, but he was not happy with that situation at all.
Yeah, I know how it is. So it's just,
So,
it is difficult.
yeah.
And but to, like you said, when you come out of that stage and you see the recovery and then finally you see them in their homes, it's so
That
fulfilling.
is the best feeling ever.
Yes.
When you see them, with Karma, all that
Yes.
luscious. She's like
Oh
a
God,
chocolate
yes, I know.
brown
And like she's got
retriever.
a normal tail now also. Like where's
So
that
I
stumpy
showed her
tail?
tail to the vet, and her vet was, it looks like it's like a birth deformity, that the tail is left only this big, but
Oh.
it's like fully. No,
Yeah,
no
like
one, no one can say that
yeah,
somebody
no
had
one. No
amputated it
one.
or
I mean, if you
anything.
show up before and after, they'll be like, no way, that's the same
It
dog.
just
No
looks
way.
like a birth defect, that,
Yeah.
oh, this retriever has a shorter tail and
Yes.
it's full wavy and she's like
Yeah.
chocolate brown.
And she's so fluffy now, but she had become quite fluffy with you also. I
Even
mean, it was.
like Karunya's foster Molly is her sister
Yes.
now. So watching them, whenever occasionally like her adopter send that picture, I feel like my eyes well up, that you start
Yes.
connecting the dots of the
Yes.
backstory, that they
Yes.
came that way and
Yeah, I
now
know.
this is
Like to
destiny.
see those before and after pictures
That's
also is just so nice.
amazing, amazing.
Like you could bring about a change this much. You can't even believe it
Absolutely.
yourself sometimes.
True. So that's what like the mission for this session was, to make people understand that how fulfilling it is at
It
the end of
is.
the
It
day.
is absolutely fulfilling. And I think all other things that you may ask, will they get along with my dog? Will it be difficult? All those become so, like background noise at some point because you're so happy to see them blossom. So I think just bite the bullet. At some point, I would say, if you
Absolutely.
overthink things,
You
sometimes it
summarized
just gets.
it the best.
Yeah, there is so many reasons not to do something, right? There'll be so many reasons not to bring home a dog also, but then there's that one reason why you should do it, and it's because it's very necessary. I think a lot of shelters are overcrowded, and a lot of NGOs need this help. So if a lot more people can come forward and say, we'll foster this dog till they get adopted, it'll take a huge burden off a lot of. A lot of rescuers. So I think please do foster. Don't be so specific about breeds and all. Also, I think a lot of indies get overlooked
Absolutely.
sometimes when fostering comes
Yeah.
about. Be a little more open to things and please do come forward to foster. I would say that is the main takeaway from this. It is very needed. If you think there are a lot of fosters, no, there aren't.
There are
Yes,
a handful of
yes,
fosters who repeatedly keep
yes.
doing it, and you know, people like you, Karuna, you're doing like two to three fosters at the
Yes.
same time because there's a crunch.
Yeah, because
So
it just there's such a small circle, and within that circle also there are very few people who do it as often. So yes, please do come forward. It's very very essential. We are always there, you, me, to guide you through things if you have any issues.
true.
And just start it. Just take the plunge at some point and just do it. Just try it out at least. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least you have tried.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe you can maybe start
Yes.
small, like, you know,
Yes.
maybe for a, if you can find a foster who's looking maybe for a week, or,
Yes.
you know, that way you can start. You don't need to start with like a 3 month
No, no, you don't,
commitment.
and you don't need to start
Yeah,
with a difficult case, that a
exactly.
case that requires a lot of medical. There are a lot of dogs who are very normal, who don't need any extra other than feeding, walking. Take those fosters on. Just do it. Just do what you can, and then progressively go up to the ones that need it. Probably a
True.
lot of times, a lot of puppies also require foster if you have the bandwidth for that, because they cannot go into a shelter because they are unvaccinated most of the time, so they do need fosters. So yeah, please come forward. We do need a lot more fosters in all cities, I think. It's a huge help for
True.
any organization.
And we are fortunate that, you know, in Bangalore we still have a
Yes.
network and still have a robust network where, you know,
Yes.
there are people ready, you know,
Yes.
to do it. But in other cities, like, I recently came to know that in my town, like, I'm from Kanpur, it's a very
Yes.
small town, not anymore, but yeah,
Yeah.
comparatively. But, you know, rescue welfare, there is no knowledge there. Like, if you want to get a dog, the only method people know is, okay, go to a breeder and buy. Like, because there are no shelters, there are no NGOs, there are rescuers. But now a girl, a very young girl from my own school, she has
Wow.
started the first
Oh,
shelter there.
wow,
And
that's
she's so
amazing.
young, she's like my sister's age
Oh,
and
wow.
maybe a couple years elder to her.
Yeah,
And she has started this, and I felt so good that
that's
I think
amazing.
we should credit social media for this,
I
that,
think
you know,
a lot
people
of
are
young kids and a lot of young people
true.
are, getting into animal welfare, and I think that's such a good thing to see. I know a lot of them struggle with a lot of funds and things like that, so I hope things get better. But I'm so glad to see the youth kind of taking on
Exactly.
this
And
challenge.
the thing that we always speak about is, you know, the awareness reaching the
Yes.
right people,
Yes.
the right, and I think we should credit social media for this. Like, on
Oh, yes.
Instagram, people
100%.
are connected to each other geographically. You know,
Yes.
somebody in like Delhi,
The
and then
north, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
north, south, east, everybody's
Yes.
connected. So that's a good,
Yeah, it's
and
really
that's the
amazing.
reason they need more fosters than, you know,
Yes.
ever. So
Yes. Yeah, I think it's uh, we need a lot more fosters. We need a lot more people to come forward to fostering. Please do. Whoever's watching this live, whoever watches it after the live ends, also, it's definitely a need of the hour. It's very. It's not. I'll not say it's the most simplest thing to do. It does take a lot of willpower and patience and a lot of more things. But uh, if you can and you think you're on the fence about it, just try it. Just try it once.
yeah, like
Uh,
in your words, take the plunge and
yeah,
just
just
go for
take the
it. At
plunge.
least give it a
Yes.
try.
Yes, just give it one try. If it doesn't work out, then you know it doesn't. But at least you tried then.
And just build a network
Yes.
maybe locally where, you know, if
Yeah.
it doesn't work out, then you have like a backup option, or
Yes.
the rescuer you have has a lot of faith in you. And
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, main thing is being very transparent with the rescuer that you're fostering for.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the most important thing.
Yeah, I think just let them know what your capacity is, what you can do. Also talk about, like, if in an emergency, what is the status quo or something like that. Just talk it out. Just talk it out, and talk it to us if you need just tips or something like that. We are
Absolutely.
always here. So yeah, as long as we can get you to foster, DMs are always
I mean, I
open.
feel
So
like that you, me, Karunya,
yes.
Chavi, and, you know,
Yes.
more people, we are like always at the very first ping, we are ready to reply
Yes.
and, you know, tell people. And it's like, this is the kind of community Instagram blesses us with.
Yes. Yes. I think there's a lot of bad things with social media,
Yeah,
but a lot of good also. So it's all like everything in life. You
sugar
have the bad and the good. So
and spice.
yes, yes, you need it also.
Yeah,
You need
true,
it. Things can't be only good all the time. You need a
true.
little bit of
You
push
get
here and there.
reality checks also a
You
lot.
need
That
it.
is,
We all need it
yeah.
sometimes.
So thank
Yes.
you so much, Nikki.
Thank
I
you.
hope you had fun because you were
I
so
did.
nervous.
Actually, honestly, I didn't look at the comments, to be honest with you. I was just looking at you.
That's
So
what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know.
It's like just us on a video call and
Yes.
chatting
It
everything.
was just like that, actually. It was literally just like that.
So
So
I hope that people got to learn a lot, and
I
thank you
hope.
so much for such amazing insights. You
Yeah.
are the one of the best fosters,
No,
foster
yeah,
homes
you're
ever.
just, I
And
don't know
thank
if
you
I
so
am
much
though.
for what you do. Literally, I feel every rescue who's watching it, who has been, working with you, must be, feeling the same.
No, I hope I can do much more. Like in my heart, I want to do a lot more, but everyone is, bound by something. Like just recently, because my health's going on leave, so I had to tell them I can only keep one foster, I can't keep two. So there are challenges, and I'm not going to put myself above anything. I don't generally put myself in a bad position because I know then I get frustrated and then it's not good.
Exactly.
So I only do things in my capacity, and I'm very honest about it. So if I can do two fosters, I do it because I have help. I'll be very honest. The help is the only reason I can do it because they help
Absolutely.
me a lot during the
So
day,
that's
etc. Night,
very important. Like on
yeah.
social media, it's very easy to get influenced,
Yes,
seeing other people. So we
yes,
should know our boundaries, our
yes,
realities, and based on that,
yes,
I think it's
yes,
important to
yes.
understand our own options.
Yes, yeah, I think it's very important. Like, I'll be very honest, if I didn't have help, I don't know if I would be able to foster, especially having three dogs myself. But yeah, having help was so good with dogs definitely helps. So, yes. So that's why I said it's everyone's capacity, and you should know your capacity and you should communicate that also well so you are not frustrated at the end of the
True,
day
true,
because
true.
that will
Absolutely.
just lead to unnecessary you being upset and then you're not doing 100% for the dog, so that's not good either. So
So thanks a lot, Nikki. It was
thank you for having
amazing.
me.
Oh my God, I was having this at the back. I remember how many discussions we had.
Yes, yes. And I didn't want to do it because I'm like, I'm so
I
scared, but let's
convinced you
see.
ultimately.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so
This
much. I think that
was
one line you
lovely.
said, what if you can influence one person to host? I think that made me want to do it because even if
Exactly.
it's
That's
one
the whole
person,
point. Like for every session, what
yeah,
if that, one person goes to the right
yes,
vet? What if that one person takes the
yes,
right diet? So
yes,
it's all for that. Like we are all doing for
definitely.
that. Thanks,
Definitely. I
thanks,
think we can help.
Nikki.
Thank you.
Lots of
Thank you
love
so
to you
much.
and the squad.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone who
Bye.
watched
Yeah.
also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. And this will be available. So if anybody wants to watch it later or
Yes.
share with anybody, so they
Yes.
can.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye.